Chapter 852. Just as Huamin was about to speak, Jixin interrupted. You were set up by them. They drugged your drink and made you delirious. I received a call from you. So, I came over with my sister and took you to the hospital. You stayed there the whole night. Then what about Yuan Ziwei and the others? Huang Yu asked. Huamin guessed that the tattooed man was the Yuan Ziwei that Huang Yu mentioned. So he continued. They were arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and intentional assault. Huh? No, you can't arrest them. No. Huang Yu seemed very agitated. What's wrong? Jixin didn't know what to do. Those people have accomplices. Their accomplices will take revenge on me. They will go to my house and hurt my parents. Why are you meddling in other people's business? Who asked you to come? Who asked you to call the police to arrest him? Huang Yu's mental state was very unstable. She kept struggling to get out of bed, ignoring the four at her hand. Huamin's heart sank when he heard her say that he was nosy. Was this still the lively and cute little junior sister from before? Was she still the good colleague who was willing to stand up for him when he was framed? Was she still that cheerful, carefree, and innocent little girl who was always laughing all day long? Why did it feel like she had changed? What are you talking about? Do you know what those people would have done if my sister and brother-in-law didn't come? They almost killed you. Jixin looked at Huang Yu in disbelief. That's my business. What does it have to do with you? Jixin, we've already broken up. Who do you think you are? Hurry up and leave. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You were drugged with Bing last night and went crazy. If Jixin didn't come to find you in time, you probably would have jumped off the building. He's worried about you and cares about you. Don't be so ungrateful, you. Huamin said angrily to her. I didn't die, did I? Who needs your help? Senior sister, I've already told you, don't worry about my matters. Those people are very scary. They will pester me for the rest of my life. My family will be in danger. This was what Huang Yu repeated over and over again. He didn't know if Huang Yu was frightened by those people or something else. In short, her mood was very unstable. Xiao Yu, how could you do this? My sister is just being nice. Jixin was speechless. Who wants your kindness? Leave quickly. I don't want to have anything to do with you. If he knows that I'm in contact with you, he'll beat me to death. With that, Huang Yu pushed Jixin and Huamin out of the ward. Huamin was completely speechless. Jixin was also dumbfounded. He didn't know why Huang Yu had changed so much in just 20 days. She was like a completely different person from before. It was as if he had a split personality. Sis, you guys should leave first. You and brother-in-law haven't slept all night. Jixin said in a haggard voice. What about you? Huamin looked at his younger brother with heartache. I'll stay here and watch over her. She's not very stable, so I want to take care of her. Jixin still couldn't let go of Huang Yu. Okay, be careful. She knew that she couldn't persuade Jixin, so she just let him be. Sis, don't tell Mom about this. If she asks, just tell her that I'm at school. Okay. Huamin nodded and then went downstairs with Qin Shu. It was already 6:40 a.m. Honey, let's go eat breakfast. I'm not hungry. I don't have much of an appetite. After what happened, Huamin completely lost his appetite. Then don't eat so much. Just treat it as eating with me, okay? Qin Shu carefully coaxed him. Finally, the two of them went to a Hong Kong-style breakfast place. They ordered crab roe buns, vegetable congee, and milk tea. You has changed so much. I don't know why, Huamin said gloomily. Don't think too much about it. I'll ask Gao Ran later. We'll know once he does the first check. Qin Shu comforted him. Okay, I'll take you home in a bit. Don't go to work today. Get some rest and get some sleep. I can't. I'm meeting an Aiyang today. Why are you meeting him? Mr. Qin was immediately jealous. Chapter 853. For treatment. He said he hasn't been feeling well lately. I don't know if it's because of the medicine he took, but we made an appointment today. Don't worry about me. If I'm sleepy, I'll take a nap at the hospital. Don't worry about me. If you're tired from work, you should take a nap in the office. You stayed up so late with me last night. Okay. Qin Shu nodded. Huamin stared at her husband for a while before asking slowly, Honey, why do you have a gun? Qin Shu slowly raised his head and looked at Huamin's face. He said word by word, shootings happen all the time in the States. The area I lived in wasn't peaceful for a while. I was robbed by a few black men. Then, to protect myself, I bought a gun. It's legal to own a gun in the States. Maybe I got used to it and felt insecure after I came back, so I asked Rick to give me another one. Oh. Hwamin nodded. What's wrong? Are you scared? No, I was just scared that something would happen to you. I was a little surprised. It's okay. I'll be fine. Chin Chu comforted her. Honey, those years in the States must have been hard, right? Hwamin had never asked Chin Chu how he was doing in the States. She didn't dare to think about it, because she knew that Chin Chu wasn't an ignorant rich kid who ate, drank, and played every day in the States. He was Chinese and lived in a place like the States for 7 years. He didn't have any friends or family and was extremely lonely. When Chin Chu said that he was robbed, it was just an understatement, but Hwamin could feel that it wasn't a happy memory. The truth was, when Chin Chu first went to the States, he was just a young man in his early 20s. He wasn't mature yet. He wasn't familiar with the place and would be ostracized if he went there. Once, after studying at night, he was robbed by a few black men in a pickup truck on his way home. Chin Chu was actually very skilled. He was a taekwondo master in China, but it was useless in America because they had guns. If you moved, you would die in minutes. Therefore, he was beaten up badly and robbed of all his money. In the end, he endured the pain, got up, called an ambulance, and went to the hospital. When he arrived at the hospital, the doctor said that he had broken 3 ribs on his left side. But that was in a foreign country. He was all alone. He had no parents, no Hwamin. He had spent those days alone. Later on, he bought a gun from the black market and became even colder. However, he had never been bullied by anyone. Instead, he had once saved the life of a gang leader during a gang fight. That person was Rick's elder brother, Lino. Thus, he was still the benefactor of the Rick family. However, he had never mentioned these unpleasant memories to Hwamin, because he didn't want her to worry or be sad. However, Hwamin was a smart person. She could tell that Chin Chu was trying to cover up his sadness. Honey, from now on, no one will bully you. I'll protect you. Hwamin's eyes were once again drowned in tears. She looked at Chin Chu and said in a choked voice, Okay, from now on, I'll need you to protect me, Dr. Hua. Chin Chu smiled. Hwamin's heart ached even more. After breakfast, Chin Chu drove Hwamin to Southside before he went to work. When Hwamin arrived at Southside, her eyes felt dry. She picked up the eye drops on her desk and poured 2 drops on them. An Ayong walked in at this time. He didn't even knock on the door, so no one noticed. Sister Hwamin, you little brat, you scared me. Why didn't you knock? Hwamin put down the eye drops and looked at an Ayong. I didn't want to disturb other people. The nurses at your hospital are so annoying. I was afraid that they would come over and ask for autographs or pictures. And Ayong laughed. You didn't sleep well last night? Why are your eyes so red? And Ayong was shocked when he saw Hwamin's rabbit-like eyes. Chapter 854. Yeah, I had something to deal with at home last night. Let's go. I'll take you for a checkup. Then, she dragged an Ayong to the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery. Although Southside started out as a sanatorium, with continuous improvements and the help of the Hua Foundation, it gradually became a top hospital for both recuperation and treatment. More and more people came to seek treatment. President Wu also seemed to be paying more attention to Southside and often came for meetings. Hwamin thought that an Ayong might have developed those symptoms because he often stayed up late, was tired, or ate irregularly and had poor digestion. However, she never expected when Director Su of the Department of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery handed her the report. Her heart sank. Director Su, this isn't a misdiagnosis, right? How is that possible? Director Su, who was in his 50s, immediately became angry. What do you mean by that? I have more than 30 years of clinical experience. I'm very experienced, and I've never misdiagnosed anyone. How can you not trust me? Seeing that Director Su was angry, Hwamin quickly explained. That's not what I meant, Director Su. What I meant was, could it be that our equipment is new, so there's some errors in the data? No, I've seen a lot of patients with this condition over the years. It's definitely this illness. But he's only 23 years old. Hwamin was in disbelief. You call yourself a doctor? What does age have to do with illness? How could a teenager not have cerebral hemorrhage? How can you analyze the illness based on age? No, I just think it's too sudden. The main problem now is that this person needs to be hospitalized. If there's any delay, his life will be in danger. But Huomin's hands trembled as she held the report. She never thought that Ni Yang would have this illness. There were a few eye-catching words written on the report. It was so dazzling. Primary bile effusion, advanced stage of liver cirrhosis. Although Huomin had not studied this disease in depth, she knew what it was. It was a very serious liver failure disease. Most of the patients had no appetite, obvious pain in the abdomen, and weight loss. There were also some patients who suffered from diarrhea, which was a very scary condition. Moreover, Ni Yang was still in the middle and late stages. Do you know what that means? This meant that the patient had to be hospitalized to find a suitable sperm donor, to perform a liver transplant. This patient must have been engaged in a high-intensity job for a long time and was under a lot of mental stress, which caused the decline of his immune system. Most of the patients I've dealt with before were in the TC industry or the sales industry. Director Su analyzed. Director Su, if he wants treatment now, is there any good way to treat him if you don't want to have a transplant? No. It's written very clearly that he's in the middle and late stages. If he doesn't have a liver transplant, he probably won't last long. I saw on the scan that 38% of his liver has lost its function. It's damaged and needs a new transplant. Oh, right, he also has Rh-negative blood, so it's probably not easy to find a donor. The chances are slim. Director Su's words almost made Huomin faint. Not only did he need a surgery, but Ni Yang also had Rh-negative blood. Oh my God, this was simply adding insult to injury. It was difficult enough because there were very few people who donated their livers. Most of the time, corpses were useless. Only living donors could achieve the best results. However, who would be willing to donate 38% of their livers? Moreover, there were very few Rh-negative blood donors. For a moment, Huomin only felt that her heart had hit rock bottom. Huomin, is this person your relative? Director Su asked curiously. Chapter 855. He's a great little brother of mine. Huomin choked up. I see. That's unfortunate. Get him admitted to the hospital as soon as possible. Also, contact his family to draw blood and see if there's anyone with his blood type. Okay, I'll arrange it as soon as possible. 5 minutes after Director Su left, Ni Yang walked out of the examination room. Huomin immediately crumpled up the report and put it in his pocket. Sister Huomin, what did the doctor say? Oh, nothing. He just said you have indigestion, probably because you don't eat regularly. Are you serious? Don't lie to me. Why would I? Huomin forced a smile. Don't tell me. I have cancer? Ni Yang suddenly asked. What are you talking about? Huomin was a little angry. I'm just joking. Why are you so nervous? Ni Yang laughed. No joking. Don't say such unlucky things. Huomin looked at him fiercely. I know, don't yell at me. Ni Yang giggled like an idiot. Ever since he met Huomin, he smiled more than before. Even his fans said that he was very sunny now. Should I get some medicine? Ni Yang asked. Not for now. You can go back first. I'll talk to Sister Ingzi about how to adjust your schedule. Okay, I haven't eaten yet. Let's go. I'll treat you to dinner. I'm not going. I still have work to do. Okay, I'll treat you to a big meal next time. Okay. Then, Ni Yang put on a mask and a baseball cap and left Southside Recuperation Center. Huomin called Ingzi with a lot on his mind. After Ingzi found out the truth, she covered her face and cried. A young lady, what should we do now? I'll ask the company to give him a break first and then persuade him to stay in the hospital. After that, I'll tell him the truth when I find him. Okay. Please save him. He's such a pitiful child. Sister Ingzi was already in tears. I will. He's like my own little brother. After the phone call, Huomin's heart became even heavier. Panda blood? Why must it be Rh-negative blood? This was simply asking for his life. At this moment, she suddenly thought of someone and rushed upstairs without a care. In the VIP ward, Xia was wiping Shuai's face. Thank you, big sister. Xia turned around. Come here, quick. Okay. Xiaowan put down the towel in her hand, got up, and walked out. Sister Xia, what's your blood type? Blood type? I've never tested it before, so I don't know. Xiaowan was startled. Then come with me. Huomin didn't wait for Xiaowan to speak before he pulled her by the hand and ran to the blood test area. Please, give her a blood type test. Quickly. Okay, doctor. The young nurse immediately began to draw Xiaowan's blood. What's wrong? Doctor, why is he drawing my blood all of a sudden? Xiaowan was confused. I'll tell you when the results come out. It's a long story. After the blood test, Huomin asked his colleagues to hurry up. Not long after, Xiaowan's blood type came out. Huomin took it and looked at it. He was ecstatic. That's great, you have it too. It's true. What do you mean? Xiaowan was confused. You have Rh-negative blood. You don't know that, right? What's Rh-negative blood? Xiaowan was confused. She didn't understand what Huomin was saying. Rh-negative blood is the common name for Rh-negative blood. Because it's very rare, it's called Rh-negative blood. Oh, so that's what it is. Xiaowan finally understood a little. Sister Xia, Ai Yang is sick, and he really needs your help. Well, what's wrong with him? Xiaowan was stunned when she heard that Ai Yang was sick. You might not understand the scientific name, so I'll just say it. He has liver failure, and it's very serious. If he doesn't get surgery in time, his life will be in danger. Xiaowan's face turned pale. Although she didn't really care about her son, she was still scared when she heard that he might die. Chapter 856. He doesn't know about his condition yet, and I want him to be hospitalized as soon as possible. You're his mother, and you have the same blood type as him, so I want to ask you, can you help Ai Yang? How can I help? Xiaowan didn't know how to react. Donate your liver. Donate 38% of your liver to you. Because you're his immediate family and have the same blood type as him, there's a high chance that your liver won't reject him. Once you succeed, he'll be like a normal person. Otherwise, he won't last 3 years. Donate my liver. This was a bit sudden for Xiaowan. She was just an ordinary woman with no education, so she couldn't accept such a big thing all of a sudden. Unlike Shuai, whose blood was thicker than water, Xiaowan hesitated this time. Miss Xia, don't worry. Even if you donate your liver, it won't be life-threatening. There might be some side effects in the future, but it won't endanger your life. I know you're worried that no one will take care of Shuai. Dr. Hua, this is too sudden. Let me think about it. Okay, I don't want to make things difficult for you. Think about it. Seeing that Xiaowan wanted to think about it, Huomin didn't say anything else. Huomin didn't feel well the entire day. So, when she got home from work, she was unexpectedly distracted while driving. Huang Yu's situation hadn't even been sorted out yet, and now this incident had happened here. She hadn't known Ai Yang for long, but he was very loyal to her. Huomin liked him a lot. Although she didn't spoil him as much as Yixin did, she really cared about him, especially since he had such a pitiful background and was suffering from severe depression. At a fork in the road, the green light suddenly turned red. Huomin didn't notice it and directly ran past it. Then she bumped into a black Mazda 6 that was coming from the side. There was a loud bang. Luckily, it wasn't very serious. It was just a light collision. However, the man who got out of the Mazda 6 wasn't going to let it go. He yelled at Huomin, "Are you blind? Didn't you see the red light? Fuck, so what if you're rich? Don't you know who you are when you drive an Audi R8? Do you have a driver's license? Don't tell me you bought your driver's license. You're still driving in this state. It's a miracle that you're still alive." The middle-aged uncle who got off the Mazda 6 had a very bad mouth. He spat at Huomin. Huomin didn't know how to react. She had been wondering if Xiaowan would save Ai Yang. At this time, a flashy red Ferrari stopped and Suyu stepped out. "What is it?" "This woman was blind and hit my car," the middle-aged man said. "I'll compensate you for hitting your car. Don't you think you're going overboard by scolding me?" Suyu glared at the middle-aged man. "I just want to scold. What does it have to do with you? Who are you?" The middle-aged man didn't seem to notice that Suyu was the owner of a Ferrari. Suyu couldn't help but chuckle at his unreasonableness. Without another word, he returned his car, stepped on the accelerator, and faced the uncle's Mazda 6 in the middle of the road. With a bang, he hit it The front of the Ferrari was injured, and the Mazda 6 was basically cut in half. It was too horrible to look at. You actually dare to hit my car. When the traffic police come, I'll teach you a lesson. There's no need to wait for the traffic police. Your new car doesn't even cost 200,000 yuan. I'll give you 300,000 yuan to buy a new car. As for the remaining 100,000, apologize to my friend immediately. Apologize? Are you kidding me? She hit me. You have 10 seconds to think about it. If you don't apologize, I promise you won't get a single cent. Suyu didn't look like he was joking at all. Which traffic police in C City didn't know him? Lord Su. Chapter 857. If they were here, they would judge the uncle for his mistake. The uncle wasn't stupid. He knew that this kid was the owner of a Ferrari and wasn't someone to mess with. So, he immediately looked at Huamin and said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you. I was too agitated. Huamin was speechless. She didn't expect Suyu to appear here. After the uncle apologized, Suyu took out a platinum business card and threw it at the uncle's face. Go to this place tomorrow and get 300,000 yuan. Remember to bring your suitcase. We only give you cash. The uncle took the business card and looked at the name on it. He was so scared that his scalp went numb. Suyu. These two words were like a god in this city. No. I don't want it. I don't want the money. Before Suyu could say anything, the uncle turned and ran, as if he was afraid that he would offend someone important. Are you okay? Suyu looked back at Huamin and asked with concern. Huamin shook his head. You don't usually drive like this. Why were you distracted today? I was too engrossed in my thoughts. It's too dangerous. It's okay if you hit someone, but it's bad if you get hurt. Luckily, it was a Mazda today. If it was a truck, I don't even dare to think about it. Suyu was still scared. He was going back to the Su mansion after work, but he didn't expect to see a traffic jam. When he passed by, he saw the license plate of the Audi R8 and knew that it was Huamin. He immediately got out of the car. Okay, I know. Just now. Thank you. Huamin sincerely thanked Suyu. What are you thanking me for? Go home, drive slowly. Okay. Huamin turned around and got into the car. Then, he drove away. When the traffic police saw that it was Lord Su, they didn't dare to approach him. They just dispersed the crowd. When Suyu returned home, it was already 6 p.m. Grandpa, you're finally back. I missed you so much. As soon as Suyu entered the house, he saw Lord Su sitting on the sofa in the living room drinking tea and watching the news. She immediately rushed forward and gave the old man a big hug. Brat, if I didn't call you, would you even know to come home? Although Lord Su scolded her, his eyes were full of love. Nonsense. I've been back many times recently. You and Dad aren't home, so I have to come back to accompany Mom. So obedient. Obviously, the old man didn't believe it. Lady Su came downstairs with a smile and said, Dad, you is telling the truth. He even ate the egg fried rice I made that day. At least you have a conscience. The old man was obviously very happy. Madam, dinner is ready, the maid said carefully. I'll go get you, Dad. You and Grandpa can sit first. Then, Suyu's grandfather stood up. His body was very sturdy. He walked to the wine cabinet and took a bottle of Jiannan Shan. Brat, drink with me? Sure. It's rare for Grandpa to be so happy. I have to drink. Suyu liked his grandfather very much and knew how to please him. The grandfather and grandson opened a 500-liter bottle of white wine. Just then, Mrs. Su and Mr. Su came downstairs. Dad, you're back? Mr. Su had always been very serious. Because he managed the largest private bank in the country, he often went on business trips. He traveled all over the country and dealt with the executives of various provinces and cities, so he was very old-fashioned. There were more than 10 delicious dishes on the table. The family of 4 sat down, and the atmosphere was very lively. Oh, have you had a girlfriend recently? Lord Su asked. No, tell me the truth. Lord Su obviously didn't believe him. I really haven't, Grandpa, Suyu replied as he picked up a mouthful of vegetables and ate. But why did I see some news and newspapers say that you have a close relationship with a popular female celebrity in your company? Lord Su asked in all seriousness. Chapter 858. Grandpa, you're the head of the military. How can you read all this gossip? You must be drunk. Drunk? How can I be drunk when I haven't even had a drink? You're just talking nonsense. The old man obviously didn't know what the internet was talking about and misunderstood Su Yu's meaning. Dad, when he said he was drunk, he didn't mean that he was really drunk. He meant that he was speechless, Mr. Su explained. Su Yu immediately gave him a thumbs up. See, my dad's the quick-witted one. Go away, let's get down to business. You're almost 30, but you still don't know how to be serious. Mr. Su scolded. Su Yu stuck out his tongue. Mrs. Su immediately defended her son. You just came back. Don't talk about her son. He's been busy with work recently. Su Yu is like this because you spoiled him. Mr. Su looked at Mrs. Su and scolded her. Why are you blaming me? Isn't he your son? It's as if you don't love him. Oh, okay. It's rare for us to get together. Let's not talk about these unpleasant things. Huh? Then tell Grandpa. When are you going to find me a granddaughter-in-law? What's the rush? Aren't things fine now? What if I find you a barbaric and unreasonable woman? What if she pisses you off? So you said on purpose. I'm happy even if she pisses me off. I'm old and want a great-grandson. That's easy. Huh? I'll make a test tube. Don't talk nonsense, Mr. Su scolded. Huamin was driving. Before he arrived home, he received a call from Jixin. Sis, something happened. What happened? Huamin's heart skipped a beat. She jumped off a building. Then, Jixin began to cry. Huamin slammed on the brakes and stopped the car on the side of the road. Gasping for air, she made a sharp turn and drove straight to the first hospital. When she arrived, Huang Yu was already covered with a white cloth and was being wheeled to the morgue. Huang Yu's family members were crying their eyes out. The entire corridor was filled with sorrowful sobs. How could this be? Huamin was dumbfounded. About half an hour ago, she said she wanted vegetable porridge, so I went out to buy it, but Jixin burst into tears again. The nurse at the hospital told Huamin that half an hour ago, Huang Yu sent Jixin and her family away. She jumped from the 6th floor of her apartment and landed on her head. It was obvious that he wanted to die. The hospital carried him to the emergency room for more than 20 minutes before declaring him brain dead. Actually, Huang Yu's decision wasn't too surprising. Qin Chu called her before she got off work. At the Gao Ran police station, several scumbags had already confessed. Ever since that party, that scumbag called Yuan Ziwei had his eyes on Huang Yu. He had been pestering her. He even took a lot of photos of her and threatened her to have sex with him. During this time, he kept on abusing and sexually assaulting her. Because she was timid, she endured it all that day. After feeding Huang Yu medicine, 3 of the 6 of them took turns to have sex with Huang Yu. Huang Yu didn't remember at first when she woke up, but she gradually remembered. Then, she kept showering and talking to herself in a daze. Later, when Jixin went out, she couldn't take it anymore and jumped down perhaps. To her now, death was her true salvation. Huamin leaned against the wall in the corridor, his heart sinking bit by bit. In front of him was still that girl who loved to smile. He asked nosily, Mian, you also graduated from 2nd High. Do you know Prince Qinshu? Such a good girl, but because she met a scumbag in her best years, she fell into a swamp of mud. Huamin's tears slowly fell. Then, she and Jixin hugged each other in the corridor, and the siblings burst into tears. Sis, I'm so sad my heart hurts. I feel like I'm going to die, Jixin said with difficulty as he pointed at his chest. Huang Yu was his first love, the girl he loved the most, but now, she died in front of him. When Qin Chu arrived at the hospital, it was already past 7 p.m. He drove Huamin and Jixin back to Sky Blessing Court. When Yang Meiyerong heard the news, she was also devastated. Everyone in the family was silent. Honey, those scumbags, how do the police deal with them? Huamin suddenly hated those scumbags. Chapter 859. We found a lot of Bing, enough to warrant a death sentence. Don't worry, Qin Chu said slowly. Huamin nodded and didn't say anything else. Sis, I'm a bit sleepy. I'm going upstairs. Jixin, Huamin stood up nervously. Sis, I'm fine. Don't worry, I won't do anything stupid. I still have you and Mom to take care of. I just want to be alone for a while. Okay, you have to pull yourself together. You have to live like a man. Huomin knew that for the 19-year-old Jixin, losing the love of his life was a very painful thing. She was really afraid that he wouldn't be able to take it. Jixin nodded. Yang Meiyerong wiped away her tears. Look at you. She's such a nice girl. How could she be with those people? She even hid it from us and didn't let us help her. What a shame. She's only 21 years old. I always thought that she could be our daughter-in-law. Mom, the dead can't come back to life. Don't be sad. Take good care of Jixin. Okay, you two should go home. Look at the bags under your eyes. You haven't slept well in the past few days. Yang Meiyerong looked at Huomin with heartache. When Qin Chu pulled Huomin into the car, Qin Chu suddenly asked, Honey, did you get into a car accident today? Yeah. Are you okay? No, my car just got scratched. It's okay, you can get it fixed at a 4S shop. After I got into a car accident today, I ran into Suyu. He came over and helped me out, Huomin said. Yeah, Qin Chu nodded. He was comforted by Huomin's honesty. Honey, yeah? I know you're sad, but we still have to get over it. I know. I'm sad, but I can't adjust. I'm just worried that I think Jixin might have matured a lot after this incident. Don't worry so much. When the two arrived home, it was already 10 p.m. Huomin's stomach growled in hunger. Although she kept saying that she had no appetite, Qin Chu still insisted on making her a bowl of ramen. Then, he coaxed her to eat a little bit. After eating, Huomin nestled in Qin Chu's arms with an indifferent expression. Hubby, if I die one day, will you miss me? I won't. So heartless? Huomin raised his head, clearly displeased. Qin Chu looked into Huomin's eyes affectionately and said quietly, If you live, I live. If you die, I die. After hearing this, Huomin was deeply shocked once again. She wrapped her arms tightly around Qin Chu's waist suddenly. He felt that the parting between life and death was too frightening. Perhaps it was just around the corner. A fresh life could wither in an instant, and then they would never have the chance to meet again for the rest of their lives. At 11 p.m., Jixin updated his WeChat moments. He posted a picture of a candle praying and wrote, In this world, other than life and death, everything else is insignificant. I hope that you will never suffer again, and I hope that you can forget everything that you should forget. Huomin's heart ached, so he sent him a WeChat message. Jixin, she won't suffer anymore in heaven. My condolences. Sis, I suddenly have an idea. I wonder if you'll agree with me? Jixin replied. What? I want to study abroad and leave this city for a while. Otherwise, I think I'll die of heartache. Jixin felt that Huang Yu's shadow was everywhere in this city, so he was very sad. When? Now. Huomin froze. Chapter 860. Sis, I want to leave right now. Jixin, Huomin's heart suddenly ached, but she didn't know what to say to her brother. Everyone understood the big picture, but persuasion wasn't enough to make him feel better. After all, he had been through so much. Huang Yu's death was a heavy blow to Jixin. No matter how strong he was only 19 years old. This was why Huomin didn't want Jixin to get into a relationship too early. It was because he was too infatuated and thought too highly of everything. He hadn't seen through the sadness, darkness, pain, and despair of the world. Sis, I can't take it anymore. I think I'm going to die. Huomin was silent. Sis, let me go. I promise that in a year or 2, 3 or 5, time will heal all wounds. But right now, I really need to leave. Mom and I will miss you a lot. I know, it's not like I'm never coming back. I just want to study abroad, just like my brother-in-law did. Do you have a country you want to go to? Huomin finally compromised. Anything. I just want to leave here as soon as possible. Okay, I'll discuss it with your brother-in-law. Huomin hung up her phone with a heavy heart. She glanced at Qin Chu, who was reading beside her. Honey, Jixin wants to go abroad. That's a good idea, sure. Qin Chu was very calm. But I'll miss him a lot. Boys have to go out and gain experience. You can't protect him forever. Plus, there are a lot of things that you can't help with. He'll figure out on his own, just like a little bird. He'll grow up and leave on his own. He'll become a responsible man like me, a husband to a woman, and a great father in the future. So, you really don't have to miss him. I think it's good to go out and broaden your horizons. Qin Shu put down the book in his hand and gently comforted Huamin. Then where do you think we should go? I've never been abroad, and I don't know where to go. It's so sudden. Jixin's idea was too sudden, and Huamin wasn't ready yet, so he was a little confused. She turned to Qin Shu for help. Singapore or New Zealand? Didn't you say that Europe and America are more developed? Huamin was a little confused. Europe and the United States are developed, but the environment there isn't very safe. Jixin's personality is suitable for countries with better security and higher happiness index. Singapore and New Zealand are known for their good security, beautiful scenery, and developed citizens. I'm sure he'll like them. All right, then I'll go to the company tomorrow and help him with the procedures to go abroad. Huamin nodded weakly. Does Annie know? I don't know yet. I'll talk to my mother about it when the contract is completed. All right, when does he want to leave? Huamin sighed. His voice was very soft. He said that the sooner the better. It's best if it's now. All right, I got it. Then, the couple fell asleep in each other's arms. The good thing was that with Qin Shu by her side, Huamin didn't have to do a lot of things himself. It was a lot more relaxing. She felt that it was better to share all her sadness with two people than to shoulder it alone. She was very grateful that Qin Shu was by her side at this moment. When Huamin went to work the next day, Sister Ingzi forcefully dragged Enai Yang to the hospital. Huamin and Enai Yang were chatting as they walked. Sister Huamin, Sister Ingzi is making a mountain out of a molehill. I just have indigestion. Why do I have to stay in the hospital and stop work? This is too much. Hurry up and talk to her. You haven't been that busy lately, so it's good for you to rest in the hospital. Treat it like a vacation. I'm speechless. Why are you speaking up for her? Sister Huamin, are you guys hiding something from me? Enai Yang was beside Huamin and was still strongly protesting about being hospitalized. Just then, they bumped into Xie Wan, who had just returned from buying fruits for Shuai Shuai. She was wearing an old red shirt and a pair of worn-out black pants. She was carefully carrying a few apples. Why are you here? Enai Yang's eyes gradually turned cold when he saw Xie Wan. Xie Wan was also very surprised. As if she wasn't mentally prepared, she looked at Enai Yang with a conflicted expression. Chapter 861. Xie Wan looked at Enai Yang, then looked at Huamin. Without saying a word, she lowered her head and left. Why is she here? Enai Yang frowned. He was still upset about Xie Wan's appearance. Who is she? Huamin pretended not to know. She didn't want Enai Yang to know anything right now. She's the woman who heartlessly abandoned me. Ha, what a joke. Why is she here? Did something happen to my good son? Enai Yang said coldly. Forget it. Don't worry about other people for now, ancestor. Take care of yourself first. Southside is pretty good. I've arranged a VIP room for you on the top floor, but there's one thing: you can't go downstairs. You'll cause a riot. Hey. Huamin's sister. No matter how much Enai Yang protested, Huamin ignored him. In the end, she forced him to stay in the VIP room on the top floor and arrange for a caregiver and a doctor. Everyone kept Enai Yang's identity a secret because of his special identity. Enai Yang had no choice but to do as he was told, but he didn't know what kind of illness he had. His attitude was quite optimistic. He watched TV, listened to music, and surfed the internet every day, but he couldn't go downstairs. Sister Ingzi quietly pulled Huamin out and asked, a young lady, Enai Yang is in the hospital. The surgery has to be done as soon as possible. Otherwise, if he doesn't show up for a long time, the fans will riot. The media will be watching. And if they find out that he's in the hospital, the consequences will be unimaginable. I know, I'm anxious too. Right now, there's no suitable surgery. I'll think of something. Okay, I'll wait for your news. After leaving the hospital room, Huamin's heart was heavy. Xie Wan hadn't made up her mind yet, and she didn't want to rush her. Enai Yang's life was still in the hands of the woman who once abandoned him. If Xie Wan didn't agree, she had no other choice. She could only go to other places to see if there were any suitable catheters and continue to operate on Enai Yang. Huamin felt that things weren't going well for him lately, whether it was Jixin, Huang Yu, or Shuai Shuai. Enai Yang, they all made her heart ache. When she got off work, she received another call from the whole corporation. The call was from Hua Xiqian's secretary, asking her to attend the board meeting. Huamin felt a headache coming on. He wanted to refuse to attend, but he vaguely remembered that Hua Xiqian was about to make a move. It would be bad if the plan was disrupted because of him. Therefore, he braced himself and drove straight to the Hua Corporation. Hua Group headquarters Huamin was a very punctual person. She always arrived 5 minutes early. When she arrived at the meeting room, Hua Yinyin and the others weren't there yet. Hua Xiqian wasn't there either. Only a few board members were there. When they saw Huamin, they politely greeted her. Of course, it wasn't because she was the daughter of the whole corporation, but because she was now Qin Chu's wife. That was the key. People were snobbish. Mian, you're here so early. Hua Zhenghai greeted Huamin as soon as he walked in. Huamin nodded slightly. Then Hua Yinyin and Shun Jiani walked in behind Hua Zhenghai. After them, Hua Si walked in. When he saw Huamin, his eyes were filled with fear. He hid far away from Huamin and sat down beside Hua Yinyin without saying anything. At 6:15 p.m., Hua Xiqian walked in with his beautiful secretary. He was wearing a coffee-colored casual suit, and the smile on his face was gone. Something seemed to have happened. When he saw Huamin, a flash of gentleness appeared in his eyes, but no one else noticed it. President Hua, you can begin. The female secretary reminded him softly. Chapter 862. Hua Xiqian looked around. Is everyone here? Everyone's here, the female secretary replied. Okay, then let's begin. Today's meeting is about my good brother, Mr. Hua Si, his negligence in the project he was in charge of. Si, tell everyone about it. After Hua Xiqian finished speaking, he slammed the documents onto the table. Then, he leaned back in his chair, looking very impatient. Hua Si was a little scared, as if he didn't dare to speak. Si, what's wrong? Shun Jiani looked at her son anxiously and asked. Everyone has a copy of the detailed documents in front of you. If Vice President Hua is too embarrassed to say it himself, you can take a look for yourselves. It'll be clear at a glance. After Hua Xiqian finished speaking, Huamin took the documents in front of him and slowly opened them. After looking through them, he roughly understood the situation. The project had only been launched for less than 2 months, but the whole corporation had already invested nearly 600 million yuan. However, Hua Xiqian recently found out that less than 300 million yuan was actually spent on the project. In other words, 400 million yuan had disappeared without a trace. The accounts were also very vague, so it was obvious that someone had tampered with them. After reading the documents, Huamin didn't say anything, nor did he move. Hua Zhenghai took a look at the documents, and then his face gradually darkened. See, what's going on? Hua Zhenghai asked in a serious tone. Dad, this has nothing to do with me. I really don't know. I didn't take a single cent, and I don't know where the money went either. Maybe I didn't invest that much in the first place. Hua Si desperately tried to shift the blame. Bastard. Hua Zhenghai slammed the documents onto the table. I was the one who signed the financial audit. How could I not know how much money was spent? Hua Zhenghai was a little angry at his youngest son's excuse. Don't be angry. Let's get to the bottom of this first. Si wouldn't have the guts to do something so stupid. Shun Jiani felt bad for her son and immediately tried to persuade him. Yeah, Dad, don't be angry. I think my brother might have been set up by someone. Who knows? After all, there are a lot of ambitious people in our company who might have wronged my brother, Hua Yinyin said as she looked at Hua Xiqian with hostility. Hua Xiqian sneered and didn't even bother to speak. You've taken over this project for some time now. So, tell me, where did the money end up? Did you grow wings and fly away? Hua Xiqian sneered. How would I know? I wasn't the only one who accepted this project. There were at least 50 people involved in this project, if not 100, so it's normal that it's gone. Big brother, you should investigate the vampires under me, not me. Hua Si tried to push all the blame onto someone else and find a few scapegoats to take the blame. Shun Jiani immediately added, That's right, there are always problems with the accounts every time we take on a project. It's unavoidable. After all, it's hard to clean up all the parasites, so we can't let C take the blame. This kind of thing happens every time, but after Dad and I took over, we always kept the difference within 5 million yuan. This time, Mr. Huisi found out that it was 400 million yuan. I have no choice but to ask, Dad, what do you think? 400 million yuan is too much. We have to investigate this thoroughly. We can't let it go. Zhenghai wasn't stupid. The whole corporation wasn't as rich as Imperial Star and GK. They wouldn't ignore a few 100 million yuan. Therefore, Hu Zhenghai felt as if someone had cut off a piece of his heart. He wouldn't stop investigating just because he indulged his youngest son. Plus, subconsciously, he didn't think his youngest son had anything to do with it. Then investigate, I didn't take it anyway. Huisi didn't care at all. He seemed to think that with his dad, mom, and sister protecting him, Huisi wouldn't do anything to him, no matter how powerful he was. However, he was wrong. Huisi didn't do anything to him, not because he was afraid of anyone. It was because he didn't have the right opportunity. Little sister Mian, what do you think about this? Huisi gaze finally landed on Huomi. Chapter 863. As soon as he said this, everyone's eyes immediately fell on Huomin. Huomin wore a navy blue coat today. She looked mature and her hair was fluffy. She looked like a Korean socialite. Compared to Huoyinyan's DG floral dress, she was indeed low-key and luxurious. Since we have a board of directors, it's for everyone to discuss and make decisions on important matters. But in the end, it's all for the good of the company. Since there was such a vicious embezzlement, we naturally have to investigate to the end. Whoever is responsible will have to take responsibility. After Huomin finished speaking, the other board of directors nodded in agreement. Miss Hua is right. We all agree. Very well. If that's the case, then I think we really need to investigate this thoroughly. Dad, what do you think? After speaking, Huisi looked at Hua Zhenghai again. Yes, since everyone agrees, then let's investigate. We can discuss it when we find something. Hua Zhenghai thought that this was just the beginning and that the investigation would take a few more days. However, to his surprise, Huisi didn't intend to end the meeting. He turned around and said to the female secretary, distribute the second set of documents to everyone. Yes, President Hua. The female secretary stood up and distributed the documents in her hands to all the board of directors. Huomin picked it up and quickly read through it. His eyes were still as calm as ever. She knew that Huisi would play Huisi to death in a matter of minutes. As expected, after Shun Jiani and Hua Zhenghai read the second set of documents, their expressions changed. This, Xiqian, did you make a mistake? Yeah, Xi wouldn't do this. He must have been framed. Shun Jiani anxiously defended Huisi. Don't be so anxious. Let me finish. I'm investigating this matter, so I have to consider everything. I won't suspect anyone just because of 1 or 2 pieces of evidence. It's true that Xi didn't take all of the 400 million yuan. He only took a portion of it. Then, Huisi picked up the second document in his hand and read, half a month ago, Mr. Huisi bought the white jade guanyin at the Lanyu auction house for more than 8 million yuan. Then he gave it to his date that night, an actress from Imperial Star, Miss Cotton Candy. This is reported by the media, and there are also videos of the auction house that prove it. Last Tuesday, Mr. Huisi went to Tianyu and spent 2 million yuan in one night. It's understandable that he treated his friends to a party since it was only a little over 1 million yuan. But here's the main point. Last Friday, he flew to Las Vegas with a few rich kids and young models and lost 48 million yuan in one-night gambling. Then he spent 2 million yuan on a one-night stand with a Russian actress. So far, the total is over 60 million yuan. After Hua Xiqian finished speaking, the crowd went into an uproar. See, is this true? Hua Zhenghai furrowed his brows and glared at his youngest son. Dad, Before he could explain himself, Hua Xiqian interrupted him. Hua Xiqian added, it's possible to check the entry and exit of the Las Vegas airport. Of course, the money wasn't directly transferred from his bank account. Instead, it was transferred from the company's finance department to an account in space and then to his own account. This is a typical hacker operation. Although it's hard to find, I'm sorry. I have a friend who's a top-notch hacker, and he figured out where the money went. So see, my dear little brother, I want to ask you something. It doesn't matter if you spent or lost 60 million yuan, but where did you hide the remaining 300 million yuan? Take it out, and I'll forgive you. No, I didn't. Huasi shook his head vehemently. Chapter 864. How dare you deny it? Huasi, how dare you? Hua Zhenghai never would have dreamed that he would do something like this. Giving gifts to female celebrities, having sex with foreign female celebrities, and spending a fortune at the casino. Hua Zhenghai had never been so extravagant in his life, not even to his beloved Xinjiani. Dad, don't listen to him. I spent the 60 million yuan, but I didn't take the 300 million yuan. I really didn't. I don't know where it went either. Huasi panicked and blurted everything out. Huamin immediately seized the opportunity and asked, "So, you admit to taking the 60 million? All of the board members looked at Huasi with hatred in their eyes. Shun Jianni's face was extremely ugly, and she reminded him, "See, you can't say things like that. Think carefully before you speak." Huasi couldn't take the pressure, so he got up and knelt down in front of Hua Zhenghai. "Dad, I was wrong. I did spend the money, but I only took 60 million. I was encouraged by my friends. I didn't play with these things before. I was wrong, but I really don't know where the 300 million went. I really don't know. I didn't do it." Do you think anyone will believe you if you say that? My good brother, a prodigal son is more precious than gold. If you take out the remaining 300 million, we can forgive you, Huasi Qian said with a gentle smile. At this moment, Huamin was sure that the 300 million wasn't in Huasi's hands. This time, he was really played by Huasi Qian. "You bastard, tell us where you hid the rest of the money. Take it out." Hua Zhenghai kicked Huasi. Xinjiani was heartbroken, and she immediately went up to hug Huasi. "See, tell me what happened. Why were you so stupid?" "Mom, I really didn't know about the 300 million or so. I only took 60 million. I was set up by someone. They said that hackers transferred the money to a Swiss bank account first, so they wouldn't be able to find it. I didn't expect it to be like this. I was wrong. My dear brother, you don't have to be afraid. I've already told you that the Hua family can afford 60 million yuan, so we can treat it as a joke. However, if you're using 400 million yuan for the project, that's unforgivable. Do you know what 400 million yuan means? It was true that the Hua Corporation wasn't the kind of corporation that could ignore hundreds of millions of yuan. Therefore, Huasi Qian's expenses were far from Suyu's. He did not spend much money himself. Most of the drivers were Maseratis that cost more than 2 million yuan, unlike Suyu's Lamborghini and Ferrari. For a young prodigal like Huasi, it was normal for him to spend millions or even tens of millions. If he swallowed the 400 million yuan in one go, he would be in deep trouble. "Zhenghai, I think the kid is a little scared. Why don't we talk about this at home?" Xinjiani did not want to put more pressure on Huasi, so she wanted to talk about it at home. Huasi Qian did not want to. He immediately laughed and said, "Director Shun, why are you so confused? This is a business matter. Why do you have to talk about it at home? It's fine if it's our family, but the board of directors is watching us. If we don't give them an explanation, how can they accept it? Where's my dad's prestige? Where's my credibility? Where's the integrity of the Hua Corporation?" Huasi Qian was indeed aggressive. Huamin could tell that his plan was too meticulous. He wanted to bring down the idiot Huasi in one fell swoop. "See, tell me, where did the money go?" Even Hua Yanyan believed that the rest of the money was with Huasi. Xinjiani immediately turned around and slapped Hua Yanyan. "What are you talking about? Didn't you hear your brother say that the rest of the money isn't with him? Why are you adding fuel to the fire?" Hua Yanyan was slapped. She covered her face and did not dare to make sound. Huamin did not say a word. "Little sister Mian, what do you think? Do you trust C?" Huasi Qian asked Huamin with a smile. Huamin said word by word, "I don't trust anyone. I only look at the evidence. I saw that all of the money was signed by Mr. Huasi. I think we can compare it with the original document to see if it's his handwriting or if someone forged it." "Perfect." Huasi Qian clapped. Then he turned around and said to his secretary, Come, get the third document. Shunjiani's heart sank when she heard that there was a third document. This time, Huasiqian came prepared. Chapter 865. When everyone saw the third set of documents, they understood what was going on. No matter how good the hacker was, he wouldn't be able to make money from the company's finances in just a few days. Only when the person in charge of the company signed the agreement to transfer the money from the finance department would the hacker take advantage of this gap and secretly steal the money. Then, he would transfer the money out of the bank account. To be honest, this method wasn't very smart. No one knew why Huasi signed the document. Huasi was also dumbfounded. He remembered that he was having an affair with the company's female assistant in the office. Later, the two discussed this matter. Since the female assistant had been working at the company for a long time, she knew more about it. Huasi had always been ridiculed by his rich friends for not being generous with his money, so he wanted to avenge himself. However, he didn't think that he would get into trouble. He thought that 60 million wasn't a lot of money and that at most, his mother would help him pay it back. However, he didn't think that Huasiqian would take the opportunity to put the missing 300 million on him. This made him speechless. Dad, I was wrong. I shouldn't have listened to that woman. Chi Jelly. She gave me the idea. Chi Jelly? Hua Zhenghai looked at him coldly. Oh, that's C's personal assistant. She's been working at the company for 3 years. She's quite a literary person, but she resigned 3 days ago. I checked, and she's no longer in the country. I don't know where to start. She probably ran away. Ridiculous. Huasi, how dare you? Hua Zhenghai was so angry that he almost had a heart attack when he heard that his youngest son and his female assistant cheated him out of so much money. See, you're such a fool. Why didn't you discuss this with Mom? Shunjiani was angry and hateful when she saw her son being set up, but she couldn't say anything about it. My dear brother, 60 million is a small amount, but 400 million is a big amount. This money doesn't just belong to the Hua family, it also belongs to the other shareholders. If you don't give us the money, once they catch you, you'll go to jail. You have to think about it. You're still young. Huasiqian tried his best to scare Huasi, trying to break him down. Indeed, Huasi was a coward to begin with, so there was no way he would be able to withstand such threats. Mom, I was wrong. Please help me. I did spend that 60 million yuan. You should have a lot of money in the past few years. Help me make up for it, okay? I don't want to go to jail. Nonsense. What are you talking about? Shinjiani's face turned green. Hua Pinyin and Huasi were the only ones who knew about Hua Mian's secret stash of money. Not even Hua Zhenghai. Now that she had been exposed in public, where was she supposed to put her face? Hua Zhenghai glanced at Shun Jiani with a complicated expression, as if he was slightly disappointed. Zhenghai, don't listen to this kid. He just said the wrong thing in a hurry. I don't have any secret stash, Shun Jiani explained. So what about now? See, are you going to tell us where the money is, or do you want to go to jail? Huasiqian continued to make things difficult for Huasi. Huamin watched everything calmly. She saw Hua Zhenghai's anger, Shun Jiani's confusion, Hua Yinyan's confusion, and Huasi's begging. She suddenly felt like the saying, every dog has its day. Back in the day, the Hua family was so arrogant. After Shun Jiani successfully married into the Hua family, she humiliated Huamin's mother in front of the media many times. Also, Huasi and Hua Yinyan were born with a sense of superiority. They felt like they were priceless, while Shun Jiani was like dirt. Today, she was finally in such dire straits, of course. This was all thanks to Huasiqian's good move. Huamin's guess was right. She knew it was a trap when she nominated Huasi as the vice president during the last meeting. Hua Zhenghai thought that his little Ado could finally be given an important role. It seemed like he was getting old, and his brain wasn't as sharp as before. I didn't take 400 million, I told you. I only took 60 million. Why don't you believe me? Huasi stood up and yelled at everyone. It seemed like he was in a complete mess. Chapter 866. Son, calm down. Let's talk things out. Shinjiani's heart ached. Why are you forcing me, huh? Why are you all forcing me? I didn't take that much. It's only 60 million yuan. I'm a young master of the Hua family. What's wrong with spending money? My dad used to tell me not to be so wasteful and wouldn't give me any money. Every time I hung out with my friends, they would laugh at me for being stingy. I've had enough. If you guys want to sue me, then I'll go to jail. There's no point in living like this. I'm not a man at all. I'd rather die. And you, Hua Xiqian, I know you don't like me. You and Hua Min both hate me and want to see me make a fool of myself. Fine, then call the police and arrest me. I don't care anymore. Ha. Really, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Hua Si was so agitated that he decided to go all out. His eyes were bloodshot as he roared. Okay, since things have escalated to this point, I'll have to call the people from the prosecutor's office. Although you're my little brother, I have to do things according to the law. Then, Hua Xiqian picked up his phone and tried to make a call. Shen Jiani immediately stopped him. President Hua, don't call yet. Director Shun, please don't make things difficult for me. I'm the president of the company. I can't cover up for anyone. I have to give the company an explanation. Please don't call. I'll pay for C. Shen Jiani said with tears in her eyes. This is 400 million yuan, not 40 million yuan. Director Shun, are you sure? Hua Xiqian smiled. Oh, think of a way. Give me 3 days, Shen Jiani said with difficulty. Hua Min had never seen Shen Jiani like this before. It seemed like no matter how bad a woman was, she would always treat her children well. If she took out 400 million yuan now, she would be helping Hua Si pay for his losses. She would also lose Hua Zhenghai's trust. After all, hiding money was taboo between husband and wife. Plus, 400 million yuan wasn't a small amount. After she took it out, she probably wouldn't have much left. Hua Xiqian's move was ruthless, sacrificing the rook to save the king. He used the cruelest move in Chinese chess. To make Shen Jiani bleed so much just to protect her son, she had also lost Hua Zhenghai's trust, which was killing 2 birds with 1 stone. His goal wasn't to put Hua Si in jail. His real target was Shen Jiani. If that's the case, all right, I'm not an unreasonable person. I hope Director Shun can keep his word. 400 million in 3 days. Hua Xiqian said slowly. I will keep my promise. Mom, where are we going to get 400 million yuan? Are you crazy? Why did you agree to his request? Hua Yanyan could no longer remain calm. She knew how much savings her mother had, so she was very anxious for her mother. It was impossible for her mother to have 400 million. Shut up. Shen Jiani glanced coldly at Hua Yanyan. The way Hua Zhenghai looked at Shen Jiani was filled with many emotions, most of which were disappointment and distrust. Hua Si immediately calmed down when he heard that his mother would take the blame. Mom, why did you take out 400 million yuan? I only spent 60 million. Hua Si was still struggling with the amount of money. Let's talk about it when we get home. Shen Jiani took a deep breath and stood up to leave. That's all for today. I'll give everyone an explanation in 3 days. Then, Hua Xiqian announced the end of the meeting. Hua Zhenghai, Shen Jiani, Hua Yanyan, and Hua Si left the company in a hurry. Hua Min also walked downstairs. Mian, what is it? Hua Min turned around. Are you happy today? It's okay. Huh, I knew you enjoyed watching it. What do you think of my idea? Pretty ruthless, Hua Min commented. If you're not ruthless to your enemies, you're being cruel to yourself. Okay, whatever you say makes sense. Hua Si took the blame beautifully. Do you want to know where the remaining 300 million yuan went? I don't. TSK. You sure don't give me face. You haven't eaten yet, right? Let's go. I'll treat you to dinner to celebrate. Don't be so high profile. Aren't you afraid that they'll find out? So if they find out, can't we eat together? Plus, Shen Jiani has to raise 400 million yuan in 3 days. It's enough for her to deal with us. She doesn't have time to deal with us. You sure know how to predict things? You knew she didn't have 400 million yuan, and you knew she would take the blame. You sure know how to trick people. So, Mian, are you complimenting me? Are you complimenting me? Or are you complimenting me? Hua Xiqian was in a great mood, and his gaze towards Hua Min was filled with warmth. Chapter 867. Then take it as a compliment. After speaking, Huamin turned to leave. Hey, aren't you going to eat with me? I'm going home to keep my husband company. What a heartless girl. Hua Xiqian watched as her slim figure disappeared into the distance. One day, she would stay by his side and eat with him, right? He narrowed his eyes and thought to himself. On his way home that night, Huamin called Qin Shu and found out that he was still working overtime, so he drove straight to GK. However, to his surprise, he ran into Song Yisher at the entrance of GK. The white Audi Q5 followed behind her, and Huamin saw that she was carrying a lunchbox. Huamin, you're here? Song Yisher smiled and greeted him. Huamin nodded. Then, he looked at the lunchbox in her hand. She immediately understood and explained, I came over from Mama Qin's place. Mama Qin said that Qin Shu has been working overtime recently and has been working overtime, so she asked me to bring him some supper. Why are you the one bringing him supper? Oh, because I visit Mama Qin a lot. When I come back, she asked me to bring him some supper. You're not thinking too much, are you? Of course not. I mean, you're so busy, so I'm really sorry for asking you to do these things. Not at all. Mama Qin treats me like family. You don't have to be so polite. Then, the two of them chatted and laughed as they walked into GK's headquarters. Hello, a young lady. Hello, a young lady. Along the way, all the employees greeted him, and Huamin smiled and nodded in response. Song Yisher smiled and asked, Do they all know you? Yeah, because I'm always here. Oh, that's good. Everyone seems to like you. Song Yisher smiled dryly. No, they don't like me. They only like me because of Qin Shu. Huamin replied generously. Song Yisher did not expect Huamin to be so direct. She was slightly stunned at first, then he smiled. That makes sense. When the two of them came in together, Qin Shu was a little surprised. Before he could speak, Huamin said, I met Miss Song at the entrance, so we came up together. Qin Shu, Mama Qin asked me to bring this to you. It's an osmanthus cake that she made herself. It's the kind that we all loved to eat when we were kids. She made it herself. Song Yisher said as she put the lunchbox on Qin Shu's desk. However, Qin Shu did not look at it. His gaze was completely focused on Huamin. Honey, have you eaten? No, I wanted to eat with you. Huamin sat down on the sofa tiredly. Come here. Let me look at you. Qin Shu looked at her lovingly. Huamin slowly got up and walked over. He wrapped one arm around Huamin's waist and said, Give me 10 more minutes, then I'll take you to eat, okay? Okay. Huamin nodded obediently. Song Yisher suddenly felt very awkward standing there. I'm going to go now. You guys go back to work. Okay, bye. Huamin didn't want to pretend to ask Song Yisher to stay for dinner because she didn't like her to begin with. So, he directly said goodbye to her. Qin Shu simply said goodbye, and Song Yisher reluctantly left. She didn't forget to remind him. Qin Shu, remember to eat Mama Qin's osmanthus cookies. She spent a lot of time making these. It's just a small token of her appreciation. Tell my mom not to make these anymore, and I haven't eaten these cookies in years, Qin Shu said word for word. What do you like to eat? I'll tell Mama Qin. It's okay. Thank you for your kindness. Qin Shu directly rejected her. In the end, Song Yisher left in disappointment. The Qin clan couple was very good at torturing single people. Even Suyu couldn't stand it, let alone Song Yisher. After she got into the car, she sat alone in the car for a long time. She was jealous of Huamin. Why was it that as long as she was around, Qin Shu would never look at anyone else? Why? She wasn't pretty, and she wasn't very likable. After Song Yisher left, Qin Shu sat down on his lap with Huamin in his arms. Honey, I've taken care of Jixin's business. Huamin bit down on his lips. He seemed very conflicted. Chapter 868. What's wrong? Are you unhappy to hear that he's leaving? Qin Shu hugged her gently and asked. No, it's his decision, and I don't want to interfere. Where is he going, and when is he leaving? New Zealand. It's a good university in Wellington, and his major is similar to his current one. The visa was approved, and he's leaving in 3 days. Already, Huamin was surprised. I called him today, and he made his decision. Okay, I understand. Then let's go to your place for dinner, and spend some time with him before he goes abroad. Okay. Huamin nodded. 10 minutes later, Qin Chu signed the rest of the documents and left with Huamin. Honey, aren't you going to eat the osmanthus cake your mom brought you? Huamian looked at the exquisite lunchbox on his desk. You like it? Here you go. I don't want to eat it. Huamin immediately refused. I don't like it either. She always makes decisions for me. I've never liked it, and I don't know why she thought of it. Then, Qin Chu picked up the lunchbox, and the two of them walked out. Sir, you're off work? Yeah, this is for you. It's a midnight snack. Thank you, sir. Yang was full of energy after coming back from vacation. He seemed to be more motivated than before, and Qin Chu wanted to train him. He thought that Yang was smart and reliable. After leaving the company, the two of them went to Sky Blessing Court. Jixin had already dropped out of school and was packing his clothes at home. Although Yang Meiyerong didn't want her son to leave, she didn't stop him. She also thought that it was good for him to go out and relax. After all, he was only going to study abroad for a year or two, and it wouldn't be long. Why didn't you tell me you were coming back? I'll go make some more food. Mom, it's okay, we'll just have a bite. I'm not that hungry. Okay, I'll make some soup. Then, Yang Meiyerong turned around and went into the kitchen. Just then, Jixin came downstairs. Sis, brother-in-law, how's the packing going? Huamin asked. We're almost done. We got everything from the school. Then, Jixin walked over to Qin Chu with a set of car keys. Brother-in-law, I'm returning this to you. Thank you for the car, but I'm not in China, so I don't need it. Keep it. I'll open it when you come back. Qin Chu said gently, This isn't a good idea. All right, don't be so courteous with your brother-in-law. You can keep the key. It's not like you're never coming back, Huamin said sadly. Okay then. Jing Jixi nodded. After you go abroad, remember to call us. Call Mom more often. Keep in touch. I know. Remember not to walk at night, and don't sleep with your friends. After all, it's overseas, Huamin reminded her patiently. Call me if you run out of money. Don't try to save money and not feed yourself well. Sis, I got it. Also, you don't have a good stomach, so don't eat too much seafood. Even though it's cheap in Australia, if you eat too much, your stomach will get sick. Remember to drink more water. Sis, I'm an adult. I'm not a kid anymore. Jing Jixin smiled. Huamin covered her mouth and began to cry. She really didn't want Jixin to leave. Honey, what are you doing? Qin Chu hugged her shoulder, heartbroken. Sis, don't be sad. I'm going to school, not to suffer. I'll miss you and Mom. I'll take care of myself, so don't worry about me. Jixin's eyes turned red when he saw his sister like this. Yang Meiyerong, who had just walked out of the kitchen, saw this and started crying as well. Don't be like that, you too. I feel bad too. It's a good thing that he's going to school. Don't they all say that people who come back from abroad have a bright future? Why are you crying? If your Uncle Jing knew, he would be happy for Jixin, Yang Meiyerong said as she cried. In the end, the three of them hugged each other and cried. Qin Chu didn't know what to say. He felt bad just looking at them, especially when Huamin was crying like this. The whole mansion, it was already late at night, but the lights were still on. Tell me, where are you going to get 400 million in 3 days? Where are you going to get 400 million? Hua Zhenghai sat on the sofa with a teacup in his hand. He looked at Shun Jiani with a serious expression on his face. Chapter 869. Zhenghai, I don't have that much, but I can't just watch my son go to jail. He's your son too. Don't change the subject. Tell me, how much money have you saved over the years? Zhenghai. Shun Jiani began to act coquettishly, trying to bluff her way out of this. Answer me. I didn't do it on purpose. I just wanted to give us a way out. If something happens in the future, we won't have to live on the streets. Shun Jiani explained quietly. So how much money have you saved? Hua Si and Huinyan sat on the side, not daring to make a sound. Jiang Hong had been staying at her parents' home for a while now, so it was much easier to ask questions since there were only a few people at home. Not much, only a little over 200 million. Shun Jiani said quietly, haha, only a little over 200 million. Shun Jiani, I underestimated you. You're really something. Hua Zhenghai sneered. Zhenghai, it's not all cash. It's money I earned from some of my previous investments, stocks, and real estate. Not all of it belongs to our family. So, you have 200 million now, but you're still short of 100 million. What do you plan to do? Hua Zhenghai asked, word for word. Zhenghai, see, is your son too? You can't just leave him in the lurch. Can you help us with the rest? Shen Jiani reached out to grab Hua Zhenghai's hand, but he bounced it back. Don't even think about it. You wanted to clean up after him? Why doesn't he think about me? Huh? How old is he? Did water get into his brain? How could he do something like this? Do you know how embarrassed I was at the board meeting today? Hua Zhenghai was furious. Dad, I didn't do it on purpose. I just shut up. I'll deal with you later. After yelling at Hua Si, Hua Zhenghai looked at Shen Jiani coldly. I won't take a single cent, or else I'll let him go to jail. How would you do this? We brought this upon ourselves. We've been too lenient on him all these years, but look at what he's become. He's in his 20s, so is Su Yu from Imperial Star, and Qin Shu from GK. They're worlds apart. Oh, right. I almost forgot about it. Zhenghai, can you talk to Huamin and ask Qin Shu to lend us 100 million yuan? Are you crazy? You want me to borrow money from him? Isn't she also your daughter? Now you know that she's my daughter. Didn't you say that she was just the child of a lowly woman, and that she might not even be my daughter? In fact, Shen Jiani was the reason why Hua Zhenghai didn't acknowledge Huamin and her mother back then. He couldn't avoid her pillow talk and obstructing his plans. She was afraid that the whole family would have one more person to split the family fortune with. But now that he was in trouble, he thought of Huamin. I was just mad at Yang Mei Yurong. Zhenghai, you can't abandon us. You know how greedy Hua Siqian is. He's not even your biological son. Do you really expect him to help you manage GK? Are you okay with that? Shen Jiani begged with tears in her eyes. She tried to soften Hua Zhenghai's heart. Even if he's not your biological son, he's still better than this wastrel. Hua Zhenghai was really angry. Zhenghai, if you don't help us, we'll die, Dad. I'm begging you. Please help little brother. You can't abandon us. When I get married, I'll definitely find a rich family. I'll listen to you from now on. I'll marry whoever you want me to. Yin also knelt on the ground and begged her father. Although she was brainless, she treated her brother well and didn't want him to go to jail. Even at a time like this, you still remember that you have me as your father. What were you doing earlier? Dad, I learned my lesson this time. It's definitely Hua Siqian who set me up. I really don't know where the 300 million yuan went. As soon as Hua Si finished speaking, Hua Zhenghai threw an ashtray at his head. Let me tell you, your stupidity lies in the fact that you were tricked and kept denying it. You didn't take precautions. Of course, with your brain, you wouldn't have been able to get away with 400 million, but you deserved it when you were accused. Dad, Hua Si cried with snot running down his nose, not knowing what to do. Zhenghai, do you think that Huamin and Hua Siqian teamed up to set up our C? Shen Jiani suddenly thought of this question. Chapter 870. Hua Zhenghai's face darkened. Now's not the time to think about that. We need to figure out how to get the 400 million. Zhenghai, you're not really going to help us, right? Shen Jiani's eyes were filled with tears. All these years, her gentleness had been like a poppy to Hua Zhenghai, making him addicted. This time was no exception. Even if he was angry, Hua Si was still his son, his only son. Hua Zhenghai was silent for a while before he finally said, I can give you the money, but Si has to step down and leave the whole corporation. Why? Shen Jiani was shocked. Do you even need to ask? Hua Siqian already has his eyes on him, and he could be the scapegoat at any time. If he continues to stay, he might cause more trouble. I was wondering why he was so kind as to let Si be the vice president. So this is what he was planning. Hua Zhenghai slowly said, Shen Jiani seemed to have a sudden realization. If you didn't mention it, I wouldn't have thought about it. So he was planning to set us up back then. Was Huamin in cahoots with him? I don't want to think about whether or not Huamin is in cahoots with him right now. Anyways, as the chairman, I have to give an explanation to the corporation. Give me the money, and Si will resign and leave the company. That way we'll be safe. Dad, I'll listen to you. Hua Si immediately nodded obediently. Now that you know how to listen to me, why didn't you do it earlier? Hua Zhenghai asked in annoyance. He lowered his head and didn't dare to speak. Pinyin immediately got up from the ground when she saw that her father had agreed. She immediately massaged Hua Zhenghai's shoulders. Dad, I knew you wouldn't abandon us. You love me and my brother the most. Don't run around for a while. Hurry up and go on blind dates. Hurry up and get married. Hua Xiqian is fully fledged now. We're not going to be a match for them. I'm worried that we'll have to end this war as soon as possible. Zhenghai, you're saying? Shinjiani didn't finish her sentence. Yes. Hua Zhenghai nodded, but didn't finish his sentence. However, his intentions were obvious. He wanted to start a war with Hua Xiqian and kick him out of the board of directors. I'll find time to convince Huamin. As long as we start with Yang Mei Yurong, everything will be easy. With Qin Chu's help, things will be much easier. At this moment, Hua Zhenghai was still to get something to Hua, to get to twos to Huamin. Thus, to Hua Xiang to the surveillance camera, to Hua Xiqian to the Hua Tu. He to Zhengong to Hua old man. You're getting old. You've really become muddle-headed. You still want to deal with me. You're really unrepentant. Hua Xiqian muttered to himself. You want me on to help you? You must be dreaming. He continued to smile smugly. Everyone in the Hua mansion, including Hua Si and Hua Yinyan's phones, were secretly bugged. Huamin was right. If someone like Hua Xiqian wanted to deal with them, it would be a piece of cake. The key was whether or not he wanted to. Just then, Mo walked up from behind him in a bathrobe. Hua Xiqian didn't avoid her and continued to watch the surveillance camera. Ah, are they still plotting against you? Yeah, isn't that one of their biggest dreams? Hua Xiqian smiled. I'm curious, does the old man not have any feelings for you after all these years? After all, you went to the Hua family at such a young age. Mo Shui wrapped her arms around Hua Xiqian's neck. Every time they spent the night together, she would have the illusion that he loved her. At the very least, he loved her when they were in bed. However, this feeling would gradually disappear after sex, and then she would start thinking about other things. Hua Xiqian was like a mystery to her. She couldn't figure him out, but she could never let go of him. Originally, she decided to go to the States and never come back. However, with one phone call from him, she obediently went to GK. She did it all to fulfill Huamin's personal wish. She sacrificed her future and career just because she wanted to make Hua Xiqian happy. He's a selfish person. Even if I stay with him for 20 years, as long as I'm not his child, he'll still kick me away. But that's good. This way I won't have any psychological burden when dealing with them. I don't want them to use their affection to disgust me. After speaking, Hua Xiqian downed a glass of red wine in his hand. Mo Shui pressed her face tightly against Hua Xiqian's chin, intimately rubbing against his chiseled jaw. What happens after we get rid of them? Huamin, what do you plan to do? Kick them out of the board of directors? Kick them out of the whole corporation? Mo Shui asked quietly. Chapter 871. Hua Xiqian reached out and unceremoniously removed Mo Shui's hands from his neck. Then he turned around and looked at her with a faint smile on his face. Shui, you seem to be very interested in Huamin. Yeah, very interested. Mo Shui smiled sweetly. Shui, you're a smart person. You've been with me for so long. You know what to do and what not to do. Don't test my limits again, and don't test me again. Also, don't harass Huamin. It won't do you any good. After speaking, Hua Xiqian stood up and left. Xiqian, I didn't mean to. I just think that how I treat her has nothing to do with you. You're not my wife. Don't be so self-righteous. Also, don't try to figure out what I'm thinking. Don't do anything that will embarrass everyone. If you're happy together, then we'll be the same as before. If you're bored, then you can find someone else, and everyone will be okay with it. After speaking, Hua Xiqian slammed his wine glass on the wine cabinet in the study with a loud clang. It was obvious that he wasn't happy with Mo Shui. Mo Shui was a little scared of Hua Xiqian. The truth was, everyone thought that Hua Xiqian was always smiling and had a good temper. He treated his employees well at GK and rarely got angry. However, only Mo Shui knew the truth. Hua Xiqian's temper was extremely bad. It was only because he was able to tolerate it that most people didn't know about this side of him. Ever since Huamin found out that Jixin was leaving, he had been in a bad mood. Even at work, he was in a daze. Huamin, are you okay? Director Li asked. I'm fine. You don't look well. Have you been sleeping well? Director Li asked with concern. Ever since Huamin came to the neurology department, she felt a lot more relaxed. This was because when she was in meetings, Huamin could handle most of the work in the department. Director Li really liked Huamin. This kind old lady really liked this talented and hard-working girl. It was as if she was looking at her younger self. Yeah, something happened at home recently, so I'm not in a good mood. Then do you want to take a few days off? There's no need. Our department has been busy recently. I won't be taking a break. Ever since he went to the Maldives and rested for almost a week, Huamin was too embarrassed to ask for leave from Director Li or President Wu. She felt that it was inappropriate for her to go out and play when everyone was busy. Things were different now. She used to be a nurse, and her job responsibilities were not so heavy. Now, he had to be responsible for the patients and his colleagues. He could not just think about his own happiness. Most of the old employees at Southside knew that although Huamin had married into a rich family, she still maintained the style of an ordinary person. She kept a low profile, wasn't ostentatious, wasn't boastful, and had contributed a lot to the South District. Most people liked her. All right, if there's anything, just tell me. I'll arrange for someone else to take your place. Okay, thank you, Director. After a whole morning of seeing patients, Huamin listlessly prepared to go to the cafeteria for lunch. However, she ran into Xie Wan at the entrance of the restaurant. Dr. Hua, Sister Xie, I haven't eaten yet either. Let's talk while we eat. Okay, Huamin nodded. The two of them ordered food and sat in a corner of the cafeteria. How has Shui been these days? Pretty good. Director Qi said he's recovering well. He's also very energetic. We'll be discharged in 3 or 4 days. Okay, I found a new house for you. Don't go back to your old place. It's not safe for you in Shui. Plus, he's just recovered. It's dark and damp there, not suitable for recuperation. I've rented a small, 2-bedroom, 60-square-meter house for you in the new northern city. It's very close to the 14th school. Dr. Hua, I don't want to say too much about your kindness. I'll say it again, I can't repay your kindness. I'll remember all the good you've done for me and my son. I came today to tell you that I've thought about it. I plan to donate my liver to N.I. Yang. Huamin's eyes were filled with pleasant surprise. Sister Xie, you've thought about it? Yes, I've thought about it, but I have a request. What is it? Huamin thought she would ask for money or something like that. After all, their lives were not guaranteed right now. Chapter 872. You can't tell N.I. Yang that I'm donating my liver. Huh? Why not? Huamin thought that if she told N.I. Yang about Mrs. Xie's liver donation, maybe he would be touched and the mother and son would be able to forgive each other. However, Xiaowan suddenly told her not to tell N.I. Yang. She didn't understand what was going on. Because I feel like I owe him too much. I don't want him to forgive me just because of this. I feel like I haven't done enough as a mother. You're right. I was too selfish in the past. We're both my sons, so why did I only love Shui? It's not fair to N.I. Yang. I was so ignorant, asking him for money and hurting him. I'm partly responsible for his illness. Miss Xie, don't blame me. I was really angry at the time. N.I. Yang is a good kid, and so is Shui. I really hope that you guys can be happy and talk things out as a family. I understand what you mean. As an outsider, not only did you help us with the money to treat his illness, but you also want to help us reconcile. I'm very happy about this, so I thought about it for a long time. I decided to donate my liver to him and cure his illness. Then, I'll slowly make up for everything. Okay, I understand. I respect your decision. Huamin was very happy that Xiaowan was willing to help N.I. Yang. To be honest, she didn't have much confidence in the beginning and was afraid that Xiaowan would refuse. After all, humans were selfish creatures. It was indeed difficult for her to use her liver to help a son that she hadn't spoken to in years. Fortunately, she agreed in the end. Then you should go for a checkup in the afternoon when you have time. Do all the pre-surgery checkups. and I Young is already hospitalized in the VIP room on the top floor. Okay. Xiaowan nodded. Qin Manor. Qin Yuman was worried about Lady Qin's foot injury, so he flew back from Hawaii. When he got home that night, he saw Song Yisher, whom he hadn't seen in a long time. Mr. Qin. She smiled. Yisher. Qin Yuman asked uncertainly. It's me, Mr. Qin. Why didn't you call me when you came back? Song Yisher makes dumplings with the maids of the Qin family. Her hands are full of white flour. Ever since she returned to China, she hardly went home. During the day, she spent most of her time with Lady Qin, playing golf, shopping, playing mahjong, drinking tea, arranging flowers, and so on. Fortunately, Song Yisher had a good temper and didn't get tired of Lady Qin's nagging. It's okay. I have a company driver to pick me up. Where is she? Mama Qin is doing a facial mask upstairs. She'll be down soon. When did you come back? I saw you last time when I went to Italy with your father. It's been 5 or 6 years, right? Qin Yuman sighed. Yeah, I was only in my early 20s back then. I was still young. Time flies, but you're still so young. You're just as handsome as before. Song Yisher smiled cutely. You little girl, you only know how to make me happy. Qin Yuman laughed heartily. Mama Qin has been talking about you. If she knew that you were back, she would be so happy. Song Yisher said with a smile. Just as she finished speaking, Lady Qin came downstairs in her nightgown. Oh, let me see who's back. Sir, did you come to the wrong place? Is this your home? Huh. Lady Qin said sourly. We're so old. Is it fun to argue? Qin Yuman said helplessly. Chapter 873. It's fun. Aren't you very capable? Didn't you say you didn't want to stay with me and want to look for your cousins? What? They can't tolerate you anymore, so you want to go home. I can't handle your mouth. Qin Yuman felt like his wife's sharp tongue had hurt a lot of people. I'm always like this. It's not like you just met me. What a joke. Why are you pretending to be a gentleman with me? Seeing their unhappy conversation, Song Yisher immediately laughed and said, Mama Qin, Mr. Qin, you can wash your hands and eat now. Sister Lan and I made shrimp dumplings. They're delicious. Yisher, you're the best. Mama Qin smiled like a blooming flower, then walked over while swaying her hips. Qin Yuman didn't say anything else, and after the maid put the luggage upstairs, the three of them sat down in the dining room. Yisher, you're not going back to China this time, right? Qin Yuman asked. Yeah, I'm not going back. Have you thought about what you want to do? Do you want to come to GK? Qin Yuman was very close with Mayor Song, so he was very polite to Song Yisher. That's a good idea. You can help Chu at the company, Lady Qin chimed in. Mr. Qin, Mama Qin, thank you for your kindness. But I can't. I'm not studying finance. I'm just an artist, so I can't help him. I'm planning to open a high-end art school and take in more children to teach them how to draw. It's a way to pass the time. Sure is such a caring child. Lady Qin loved Song Yisher so much that she almost went crazy. No matter what she said, Lady Song would agree. Qin Yuman also nodded. That's good. After all, you've been learning how to draw for so many years. Your father will be happy for you. Yes, my daddy is very supportive of my opinion. These few days, he even helped me find a place to rent it. Huh? Sure. Have you called Chu? Can you ask him if he's coming back for dinner? I don't think so. He usually has dinner with Huamin. Ever since Song Yisher had awkwardly bumped into Huamin while delivering supper, she seemed to have some ill feelings towards him. He did not dare to take the initiative to look for Qin Chu, because she realized that Huamin was very powerful. What are you afraid of? What? As long as Huamin was here, Huamin would be the heavens. Was she the sun? Everyone is circling around her. Take out your phone and take it. Just say that you're back. Our son will definitely be back. Lady Qin said domineeringly as she pointed at Qin Yuman. I'm a little tired. I'll call them back another day. No, call them now. Also, don't let Huamin see them. Seeing them makes me annoyed. Ever since she fell down at Huamin's house, Lady Qin disliked Huamin even more. It was as if they were mortal enemies, a thorn in her side. What you're doing is making things difficult for our son. Isn't my son making things difficult for me? He knows that I don't like that girl. but he still married her to piss me off. Didn't you know? This time, I got injured because of her family. Luckily, I have good stamina, or else they would have killed me. You don't know how evil Huamin is. When he saw me fall, not only did he not help me, he even gloated. Luckily, Sure arrived in time and drove me to the hospital. I'll hate that little bitch for the rest of my life. Mrs. Chin continued to blabber on and on. I'm full, you guys eat? Sure, I'm going upstairs. Huh? You don't want to listen to your son? Who do you think you are? Lady Chin didn't seem to want to let it go. Chin Yuman ignored her and got up to go upstairs. Clearly, he didn't want to listen to her nagging. Mama Chin, forget it. Dad just got off a long-distance flight. He must be tired. Let him rest first. It won't hurt to have dinner with Chin Shu for a day or two. Fine. Since you said so, I'll do you a favor, Lady Chin said pretentiously. Sure. Your parents didn't set you up on blind dates or anything, right? No, I don't really want to find one myself. I'm not in a hurry. Song Yisher smiled embarrassedly. Upon seeing this, Lady Chin immediately grabbed her hand and asked, Sure. If Chu gets divorced, will you marry him? Song Yisher was slightly surprised. Chapter 874. Mama Chin, what are you talking about? Don't joke around. How could Chin Chu get a divorce? He loves Huamin so much. Song Yisher smiled bitterly. Nothing is impossible. Let me tell you, men are all the same. Once you get your hands on someone, you'll get tired of them. There's no cat that doesn't cheat. My son won't be attracted to Huamin for long. Once there's a misunderstanding, there'll be a rift. I don't think they'll get a divorce. I think they'll get a divorce sooner or later. I really like you. I really hope you're my daughter-in-law. Mama Chin, I don't think I'm that lucky. Chu doesn't seem to like me. Who said that? He liked you so much when he was young. The year you lived with us, the two of you played so well. Lady Chin always tried to talk about things that happened when they were young. The truth was, when Song Yisher was young, Chin Shu didn't have much interaction with her. Chin Shu was introverted and didn't like to talk when he was young, so he didn't have any feelings for Song Yisher. At that time, he was still living alone in a lonely world. It wasn't until the first year of high school that he met a girl that lit up his entire world. However, women were always blind when it came to relationships. Even Song Yisher couldn't resist the temptation. Although she kept rejecting Lady Chin verbally, she was actually quite happy when she heard what Lady Chin said. If Chin Shu could really get a divorce, it would be a good thing for her, right? After Jiang Xiaowei got pregnant, the Wei family was overjoyed and began to prepare for their wedding. The wedding was set for the 1st of January, New Year's Day, and there were 500 tables. The Wei family had been in Sea City for many years. They were well-known and influential, and they also had many branches. They had many rich allies, so when the news of the wedding was released, it immediately dominated the entertainment headlines. For a few days, there were news reports, so Jiang Xiaowei didn't dare to leave the house. Other than going to work during the day, Wei Liao rarely went out at night. Most of the time, he stayed at home with Jiang Xiaowei. Tang Chuan was not very reliable. Sometimes he went abroad to play, and sometimes he stayed at home to pick up girls. All of a sudden, Su Yu was all alone. He felt as if all his friends had left him. Therefore, after he finished his work during the day, he began to return to the Su family more often. On this day, after returning to the Su family for dinner, only Mrs. Su and Lord Su were there. You, Grandpa? What is it? One of Grandpa's former comrades wants to come here with her granddaughter to play. Are you going to spend a day with us? Don't. I don't like to socialize. So you directly refused. This isn't a social gathering. We're just friends catching up. Then Grandpa can just ask your adjutant to do it. Once you give the order, everything in the army will be done for you. No, it's rare for Grandpa to take a vacation, and I don't want to have anything to do with the army. It's a private gathering. How about this? You pick her up from the airport in the morning and bring her home. We'll eat together, and in the afternoon, you can take us around. Don't you have a resort in the west at Beauty Lake? We can go there to fish and eat some barbecue or something. The old man seemed to be very interested. You, since Grandpa has already said so, don't refuse, Mrs. Su said with a smile. This. Suyu really didn't want to, but he didn't want to spoil his grandpa's mood. In the end, he could only nod. Okay. Then it's settled. I'll give you the flight number and the name of the person later. Don't forget. Got it. Suyu was depressed. If he had known earlier, he wouldn't have come back for dinner today. Who knew that his old man was so good at causing trouble? After dinner, Lady Su mysteriously pulled her son to the side. Your grandpa really put a lot of thought into this. Do you know why his old comrade brought his granddaughter here? Is he going to introduce her to me? That's right. Suyu, Mom. I don't like blind dates. This isn't a blind date. What if she's to your liking? No, Mom. Even if she looks like Chang'e, I don't want her, Suyu said firmly. Is it because of that girl from the whole family? Lady Su looked at her son meaningfully and asked. Chapter 875. Mom, don't tell the truth. Sigh, what should I say about you? Everyone outside says that our little ancestor of the Su family is a playboy. You have a lot of girlfriends and scandals. Actually, Mom knows that you're just putting on a show. You've been stubborn since you were young. If you like something, you'll go for it. That's a good thing, you're loyal, but it's also a scam. Son, we can't covet something that doesn't belong to us. We have to have a bottom line. Mom, I didn't cause her any trouble. I didn't know that she was married before, so I confessed to her rashly once and was rejected. After that, I didn't say it again. Actually, my request is very simple now. I just want to see her occasionally. I don't want anything. You don't have to worry about me bringing shame to the Su family. That's good. Hearing her son say this, Lady Su's expression softened a little. The next morning, at 6 a.m, Suyu woke up and followed the driver to the airport in the Bentley. At the VIP exit, a thin old man and a young girl in her early 20s walked out. The old man was wearing a gray Chinese tunic suit. He looked very authentic and serious. The young girl was very lively. She was wearing a small leather jacket, a short skirt, black stockings, and long boots. She was very fashionable and had a head of curly hair. She looked very sweet, like a doll. Suyu walked up to the old man. Are you Grandpa Su? Yes, I'm Su Qiushan, the old man said with a serious face. Hello, Grandpa Su. I'm Suyu. You're the grandson of the old class president, right? You're really talented. Not bad, not bad. The old man praised Suyu endlessly. The young girl behind him immediately interrupted. Ah, you're Suyu. I know you. I heard that you've been dating Jiantong recently. Is that right? The young girl smiled in a gossipy manner. The old man turned around. Minner, don't be rude. This is my granddaughter, Su Jiamin, the old man introduced. Suyu nodded slightly. Then he got into the car with the two of them and drove all the way to the Su family. On the way, the girl kept talking to Suyu in the back seat. I heard that Mian under your company is being kept by a local young master. Is that true? Suyu, is it true between you and Jiantong? Or is this a publicity stunt? Are you having an affair with Annie Liang? Did you break Annie Liang because you were with Jiantong? Is that why she signed with GK to make things difficult for you? Also, why is your singing so good? I saw the live broadcast of GK's 30th anniversary on TV. The song you sang just once was for a girl, right? Is it Jiantong? Suyu, this little girl's mouth was like a cannonball. She kept asking questions, which made Suyu completely confused. Your questions are sharper than a reporter's. How am I supposed to answer them? Suyu looked helpless. It doesn't matter. You can answer them one by one. Suyu, Jiamin, don't be rude. The old man also had a headache. It really wasn't a wise decision to bring this gossipy granddaughter out to play. At the Su family mansion, the two old men hit it off immediately and were very close. Only then did Suyu find out that his grandfather was the squad leader of the army during the War of Resistance. This old man was his old comrade who had gone through fire and water with him. He was a year older than his grandfather, but he respected his grandfather very much. He was also the head of a military region in the south, and his status was second only to his grandfather. He had many children, and they were all in the army. His family had a lot of background. And because Su Jimin was the youngest daughter of his youngest son, she was the apple of the family's eye. Perhaps it was because everyone spoiled her that she didn't know what to say. You take Minna out for a walk. Young people have more common topics to talk about. Master Lord Su took the initiative to speak. Although Suyu didn't want to, he still nodded. Let's go. He turned around and walked out of the mansion, and Su Jiamin followed. Suyu, take me to Imperial Star. I really like Jian Tong. She's my favorite actress. I don't like Zhao Qingya. Although she's pretty, I feel like she's fake. Oh, right. The internet said that she went abroad to further her studies and quit the entertainment industry. Is that true? Why is there no news about her at all? Chapter 876. Don't ask about this. It has nothing to do with you. So you didn't seem to want to talk to the little girl. Are you afraid that I'll tell others? I won't. Don't worry. I'm a very principled person. The little girl said confidently. How old are you? So you had a cigarette in his mouth as he glanced at Su Jimin. The little girl raised 2 fingers. I'm 20. Then why aren't you in school? What are you doing out here? It's so cold in the north. Haha, I'm studying in Singapore. There are a lot of vacations there, so I come back often. I'm in the south and rarely see snow. Sometimes it snows, and it melts before it hits the ground. My grandpa said that the winter here lasts 5 months, and it snows a lot. I want to see it. What's there to see? It's boring. Suyu leaned on his Lamborghini, not knowing what to say to her. They had nothing in common. Can you take me to Imperial Star? I heard that you're the biggest boss of Imperial Star, and all the celebrities listen to you. The little girl was obviously a groupie. You won't see any celebrities at this time. They're all acting or filming. Why would they go to the company? Oh, really? I see. Then what do you have here? Can you take me out? Or do you have something good to eat? The little girl looked excited. Suyu woke up too early in the morning, so he didn't have much energy. We'll have breakfast soon. Don't run around. No, I want to go out and eat. I want to experience the culture here. The little girl insisted, and Suyu's head hurt from all the noise. He drove his Lamborghini and took her out. In the end, they went to Aixin's Ramen at the back door of Second High. This ramen is good, right? Su Jiamin asked as she looked at the small sign. It's okay. Suyu said perfunctorily and walked in first. Boss, 2 bowls of noodles, 1 big and 1 small, Suyu said. No, boss, 2 big bowls, thank you. You can eat that much? Suyu looked at the little girl in disbelief. If I can't finish it, I can give you the rest. Suyu, he felt as if he had been struck by lightning. It was too shocking. If she couldn't finish it, she would give it to him? Did he think he was a trash can? I won't eat your leftovers. You have to be clear about this, Suyu warned seriously. Ha ha, why are you so nervous? I'm just teasing you. I can eat a lot. A big bowl is no problem. Then, the 2 of them sat at the dining table. It just so happened that it was time for school in the morning. Many students were walking in through the back door of Second High School. Suyu was a little stunned as he watched. If he had studied here all those years ago, would he have also been attracted to Huamin? Seeing how engrossed he was, Su Jiamin suddenly asked, Do you like high school students? Suyu looked at her helplessly. You're thinking too much. That's not right. You chose to eat here because there's a story here. Tell me, did your ex-girlfriend like this place? No. Suyu denied it directly. Then the girl you like likes to eat the noodles here. Suyu, see? I guessed right? Huh. The tomboy you like graduated from his school, right? Su Jiamin suddenly asked. How did you know? Just by looking at you. You brought me to eat noodles near the school, so early in the morning. I didn't just think that this place was delicious. I knew that you liked it here. But Grandpa said that you joined the army at a young age, so you probably didn't go to high school. So, I guess that the girl you like probably graduated from here. Okay. Suyu sighed slightly and didn't say anything else. The person you like isn't Jian Tong, right? Su Jiamin asked again. Why do you have so many questions? Do you think I have 100,000 whys? Suyu was a little impatient. I'm just asking. What's wrong? The girl looked wronged. Then, she noticed that the look in Suyu's eyes changed. He was staring at the door, his eyes unmoving. She turned around and saw an Audi R8 slowly stop in front of the ramen restaurant. A girl with delicate features got out of the car. She was wearing jeans, heels, and a short black trench coat. Chapter 877. Boss, a small bowl of ramen, please, Huamin said as he walked in. Okay. Huamin saw Su Yu as soon as she walked in. She nodded and greeted him. Then, she sat down at the table next to him. She originally planned to eat with Qin Shu in the morning, but Qin Shu received a call and rushed to the construction site to deal with work. She drove here herself and planned to go to work after eating. However, she didn't expect to see Su Yu here so early in the morning with a girl beside him. Ever since Huamin came in, Su Yu's gaze changed. Hey, it can't be that dramatic, right? Is it her? Su Jiamin asked. Just then, the boss brought their noodles to the table. Su Yu pushed a bowl in front of her and said bluntly, "Don't talk, eat your noodles." Su Jiamin pouted and didn't say anything else. The two ate their noodles in silence. Huamin hadn't been in a good mood lately, because tomorrow morning, Jixin would fly to Jing City at 3 a.m. and then transfer to New Zealand. This trip was thousands of miles away, and she didn't know when he would come back. While eating, Huamin was a little absent-minded and looked a little lonely. Although Su Yu was focused on eating his noodles, he couldn't help but look up at her. He waited until Huamian finished a bowl of noodles and left. Su Yu couldn't help but walk up to her. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine. You don't look well." "Oh, maybe it's because I've been busy with work," Huamin said faintly. "Then take care of yourself." "Okay." Huamin nodded. "Huamin," he said again. "Yeah, it's my birthday next Friday, and there's going to be a cocktail party at my private mansion at 6 p.m. Can you come?" Su Yu hesitated for a long time, but he still wanted to invite Huamin. He felt that if he could see her on his birthday, he would be very happy. "I'll see." Huamin didn't directly refuse, but she didn't agree either. She watched the Audi R8 drive away. Only then did Su Yu come back to his senses and sit down to eat his noodles. "She's the girl you like, right? It's none of your business." Su Yu asked him politely. "Am I curious?" "Shut up and eat your noodles," Su Yu said fiercely. Su Jiamin didn't say anything. When the two of them returned to the Su family's villa, it was almost noon. Su Yu took her for a walk outside before returning to the mansion. Grandpa Su seemed very enthusiastic. "Jiamin, how's my Yu doing?" "He's an egomaniac, and he has a quick temper. He's always so fierce," Su Jiamin commented sincerely. When the two old men heard this, they laughed out loud at the girl's honesty. "No, he's good. At least he's sincere. I don't like guys who are too fake and hypocritical," the girl added. "Would you be willing to be my granddaughter-in-law?" Master Lord Su was very straightforward. "Grandpa." Su didn't seem happy with his grandpa's joke. "Forget it." Master Lord Su, no. "What? You don't like you?" Master Lord Su asked. "No, he's much older than me. I don't want to find someone so old. I like young men. I like an Ayong." An Ayong. This time, the two old men were confused. "When did you have a boyfriend?" "How come I didn't know?" Grandpa Su asked with a serious face. Su Yu helplessly explained for her. The Ayong she's talking about is a celebrity. Only then did the two old men realize. Master Lord Su wanted to matchmake Su Jiamin and Su Yu. Although they were 7 or 8 years apart, their family backgrounds were similar. The two old men agreed, but unfortunately, the two children didn't seem to think so. Su Jiamin seemed to have a good impression of Su Yu, but when she saw how gentle he was to that girl when they were eating ramen, she gave up. She felt like giving up. Su Jiamin knew very well that it was very tiring to like a man who had someone else in his heart. GK headquarters. When Qin Shu finished his work and returned to the company, it was already 10 in the morning. After the meeting, he was about to go out for lunch when he saw Song Yishu. "You were looking for me?" Qin Shu asked her. "Yeah. Do you mind having lunch with me?" Song Yishu smiled and invited him. Her questions were always so tactful. If Qin Shu said that he minded, he would seem too petty. If he didn't mind, he would have to have lunch with her. Chapter 878. "Let's go, I'm going downstairs too." Qin Shu didn't refuse and went downstairs with Song Yishu at a Western restaurant downstairs. The two of them ordered a steak set. Then, Song Yishu took out a blueprint and handed it to Qin Shu. "What's this?" "I'm planning to open an art school, right?" So, when I was looking for a location, I saw this. It's a store in a new building under your company. This 7-story building is empty and hasn't been rented out yet. It's in a good location, so I wanted to ask if you could rent it to me. You want to open a school? Yeah. I've been back for so many days, I can't always rely on my parents. I've been studying art for so many years, and to be honest, I wanted to open a studio. But, there aren't many people here, so there won't be much business. So, I decided to go all the way and open a school. I can even teach kids. It's pretty good. Oh, Chinshu nodded faintly. Can you rent it to me? I'll pay you the rent. Song Isher smiled. You can use it. We're planning to rent it out. As for the rent, you can pay me normally. You can talk to the administrative department about the contract. I don't usually care about these things. Okay, thank you. Song Isher nodded in thanks. Chinshu lowered his head and sent a WeChat message to Homin. He looked very focused. He completely forgot about Song Isher, who was sitting across from him. She felt a little awkward sitting across from him. So, just as Chinshu and Homin were talking, she suddenly said on purpose, Chu, Mr. Chin is back. He wants you to come home for dinner tonight. Homin happened to hear this. She sent a WeChat message to Chinshu and typed, Is Song Isher with you? Yeah. She came to find me. She wants to rent an apartment under the company. Why do you have to ask about something like this? Isn't that the administrative department's business? Homin was unhappy. I don't know. Let's see how I torture you when we get home. Honey, I'm innocent. Did I say anything about you? Why are you crying injustice? Homin replied domineeringly. Chinshu was speechless. Chinshu. Seeing that Chinshu didn't respond to her, Song Isher shouted again. Chinshu finally looked up. Papa Chin is back. He got it. I'll contact him later. Oh, okay. Song Isher nodded. After the meal, Chinshu paid the bill and went back to the company. Song Isher drove to have afternoon tea with a few socialites. However, he did not expect to meet Hua Xiqian here. Hi, Miss Song. Hua Xiqian greeted her. Hua Xiao. Hua Xiao. The socialites greeted him as well. Hua Xiqian was very popular in the circle. Both men and women liked him. Other than Su Yu and Qin Shu, young Master Hua, Song Isher greeted him as well. I haven't seen you in a few days. You've gotten prettier. Thank you. Song Isher smiled elegantly. Are you free tonight? I made a reservation at Phoenix Terrace. Do me the honor of joining us for dinner? Hua Xiqian invited her. I'm sorry, but I have plans tonight. Oh, I see. Okay then, another day. Okay, enjoy my treat. Hua Xiqian paid the bill like a gentleman and left the restaurant. After he left, the socialites immediately gossiped. Is Hua Xiqian pursuing you? Sure. Yeah? Hua Xiao likes pretty girls. You're so pretty, of course he's interested in you. He even danced with you at your party the other day. I also heard that he hasn't had a girlfriend since he broke up with Mo. Schwer. Maybe he wants to pursue you. Sure. You guys are overthinking it. I don't think he's interested in me. Song Isher smiled. Chapter 879. No way. We can all tell, a socialite said. No way, it's obvious. He wanted to treat you to dinner and dance with you. What man would do that for no reason? Not necessarily. I heard that the whole corporation is in the running for a piece of land. Maybe he wants to use me to get my dad's recognition. Song Isher said slowly as she took a sip of coffee. Hey, you're right. Song Isher would never think that a man was nice to her because he liked her. Although she thought she was beautiful and charming, it depended on what kind of man he was with. Hua Xiqian was a playboy, but he wasn't infatuated with her. She would rather believe that Hua Xiqian got close to her for a reason. When Huamin got off work, he went straight back to Sky Blessing Court. Chinshu called her, but she didn't pick up. When Chinshu got home, he saw that no one was home and guessed that she was at Sky Blessing Court. So, he drove to Sky Blessing Court. Yang Meiyurong made a lot of dishes. Because Jixin was leaving tomorrow, everyone was sad to see him leave. This time, Chinshu was the one who found Jixin's school, tuition, and residence. For Jixin's sake, he did everything himself and picked the most suitable university out of the 10. Brother-in-law, you're here. Is your sister here? Yeah, she just got back. She's in the kitchen with my mom. And Machem. Qin Shu walked in, took out 2 cards from his pocket, and handed them to Jishin. One is a SIM card that allows you to make international calls. When you get there, just change the SIM card. The other one is a Union Pay card that can be used all over the world. You can use it when you're overseas. There's 1 million in it. You can use it now, and the finance department will transfer it to you every month. Don't feel burdened. Just spend it however you want. Brother-in-law, I know you're super rich, but you're too stubborn. How can I spend 1 million and transfer it to me every month? No, it's too much. Take it. If you can't spend it all, bring it back to me. Jishin knew Qin Shu. He didn't say much, but he always expressed himself with his actions. Once he gave you something, you had to take it. That was his way of doing things. My sister gave me money, brother-in-law. Your sister gave you money, and this is mine. Take it. There's no harm in having more money. I know you won't flaunt your wealth, so you won't get into trouble. Qin Shu. Thank you, brother-in-law. Jishin carefully put away the 2 cards, then she looked at Qin Shu and said, Brother-in-law, I don't know how long it'll be before I come back. It's a long journey, so if there's nothing else, I won't go back and forth. My mom is fine. She often goes out with those Annies, but my sister is a workaholic. She only listens to you, so you have to take good care of her. Also, hurry up and have a baby. I really want to be an uncle, Jishin reminded them. Qin Shu nodded in agreement. Just then, Huamin walked out of the kitchen and placed a dish on the dining table. He glanced at Qin Shu and asked, President Qin, what did you have for lunch today? Steak. Wow, not bad. Did you have red wine? No. Wait, you had steak and a beautiful woman. Why didn't you have red wine? Huamin said sourly. He thought that she was jealous because she overheard Song Yisher's conversation on WeChat. Then he said, Honey, let's talk about private things at home. Don't talk about it here. This is my home too. Why can't we talk about it? Also, I'm not going back tonight. I want to stay here. Okay, I'll stay here too. Why should you stay here? This is my home. Sis, brother-in-law bought this house. Jishin reminded her. Shut up. Are you my brother or his brother? Huamin deliberately scolded Jishin. Jishin, honey, you're right. Everything you say is right. Qin Shu's attitude was good. Don't give me that. Are you trying to bluff your way out of this? Nope. Anyway, I'm not going back. Jishin's leaving tomorrow, so I'll move back here for a while. You can reflect on yourself. Honey, stop it. Qin Shu's heart couldn't take it anymore when he heard that Huamin was moving back to her parents' home. I'm not. Huamin replied angrily. I just promised Jishin that we'll have a baby. If you move away, how am I going to fulfill his wish? Qin Shu smirked. Chapter 880. So you married me because you wanted a baby? Huamin asked, pretending to be angry. Before Qin Shu could say anything, Jishin spoke up for his brother-in-law. Sis, you're so unreasonable. Brother-in-law is already like that, and you're still trying to be unreasonable. Don't say anything, let him speak. Huamin looked at Qin Shu fiercely. Honey, Qin Shu looked like he had been wronged. The more he said, the more mistakes he would make. What if he really got into trouble and they separated? Just then, Yang Meirong walked out. Dinner's ready. Thank you for your hard work, Andy. Qin Shu respected Yang Meirong very much. Even though she had a bad temper and was prejudiced against him, Qin Shu still wanted to thank her for raising Huamin for more than 20 years. It's nothing. Don't be so polite with me. Hurry up and eat. Yang Meirong brought out the dishes one by one, and the 4 of them sat around the table. It's all thanks to Qin Shu that Jishin went abroad this time. Auntie, it's my duty. What's her duty? No one should do anything for anyone. Even if we're family, we have to be considerate. The house we live in is all thanks to you. I only have 2 wishes for the rest of my life. One is for Mian to be happy, and the other is for Jishin to live a carefree life. As long as you guys live well, I won't have to worry about you, Yang Meirong said as she ate. Don't worry, Mom. We're not kids anymore. Huamin smiled. Jishin, be a good boy when you're there. Don't get into trouble. Mom, I don't get into trouble in China. Don't worry. If something happens, I'll call brother-in-law. Qin Shu nodded. Huamin looked at Jixin and realized that Jixin really liked Qin Shu. It was no wonder. Other than Huamin, Qin Shu treated Jixin the best. He had already mentioned changing cars twice. Luckily, Huamin stopped him. Otherwise, Jixin would probably be driving a Porsche by now. After dinner, Huamin dilly-dallied and refused to leave. Qin Shu was not in a hurry. He drank tea in the living room and waited for her. In the end, Yang Meirong couldn't take it anymore. Hurry up and leave. Look at the time. Your brother's flight is at 3 o'clock. Qin Shu already arranged for a driver to send him. What are you still doing here? Mom, I'll stay a little longer. What are you waiting for? Both of you have to go to work tomorrow. Go home and sleep. Your brother is going to school, not to suffer. Before Huamin could say anything, Yang Meirong pushed and shoved Huamin out. Then, she quietly got into the car with Qin Shu. After getting into the car, Huamin's face was still gloomy. She was in a bad mood. Honey, don't be sad. Seeing Huamin's gloomy face, Qin Shu's heart ached. Huamin was no longer mad at Qin Shu. After all, Huamin didn't care about Song Yisher at all. She leaned into Qin Shu's arms and said in a small voice, Honey, I still don't want to leave Jixin. What should I do? Huamin was already used to being an older sister. Over the years, she would rather live frugally to take care of her brother. Occasionally chatting with Jixin on WeChat and eating had become a part of her life. She never thought that one day he would leave this city and go to a place so far away. Therefore, she still couldn't accept it, just like how she couldn't accept Huang Yu's death. Life is a process of constant parting and reunions. No one is immune. Everyone is the same. Qin Shu gently hugged Huamin and comforted her softly. I know, I'm just a little sad. In the end, Huamin cried in his arms for a while before the two reluctantly drove away. Huamin didn't sleep much that night. She tossed and turned, thinking about Jixin the entire time. At 3 a.m, she got up and looked at the time on her phone. Then, she went downstairs to get some water. She looked at the dark sky outside the window and thought about how her brother was already on a plane to New Zealand, across the ocean. Jixin, I hope you'll be all grown up when you come back, Huamin murmured quietly. 3 days later, Huamin went to the second board meeting of the whole corporation during his break. Shunjiani looked at the transfer records and saw that 400 million yuan had been transferred to the corporation's account. All of the board members seemed to be relieved. Then, to no one's surprise, Hua Si resigned. As a father, Hua Zhenghai apologized to the board members for not teaching his son well and put on a good show. After the board meeting ended, Hua Siqian stopped Huamin. What? Aren't you curious about what I'm going to do next? That's your problem. What does it have to do with me? Huamin never thought that he was on the same side as Hua Siqian. Chapter 881. No, it has something to do with you. Come back tonight, and I'll show you the best show ever. Tonight? Huamin was a bit surprised. Wasn't this too soon? You're making a move tonight? Huamin asked uncertainly. Yeah, that's the only way to catch them off guard. Hua Siqian smiled. Shunjiani barely managed to block the 400 million yuan, and Hua Siqian was going to attack again. He was indeed aggressive. This time, you'll make sure that they can't turn the tables. With Huamin's understanding of Hua Siqian, he knew that Hua Siqian had already done enough foreplay. If he made a move now, it would be fatal. As expected, he dotingly flicked Huamin's forehead. He didn't use much strength. You're the smartest. You have to come back to witness such an exciting moment, or else all my planning will be in vain. My mom will be back tonight at 6:30 p.m., and the whole family will be there. You have to come. After speaking, Hua Siqian put his hands in his pockets and left. Huamin looked at him with a complicated expression. Hua Siqian was usually smiling and seemed easy to get along with. But in reality, Huamin thought that Hua Siqian was too smart and didn't care about anyone. He was full of tricks. Unfortunately, she didn't see the person in his heart. If she knew now, she would probably... Mian. Just as Huamin was about to leave the company, Hua Zhenghai suddenly called out from behind. Huamin turned around and saw that he was alone. Shinjiani wasn't with him. What's up? You should rest today. Have some tea with Dad. I haven't talked to you alone in a while. I don't think we have anything to talk about. Huomin's attitude wasn't friendly. Hua Zhenghai didn't get angry. Instead, he smiled and said, "Don't be so distant. Although the Hua family isn't as powerful as the Qin family, we'll still help them if they're in trouble. After all, we're in-laws now." Hua Zhenghai always brought up the marriage between the Qin and Hua families, which really annoyed Huomin. Huomin wanted to refuse, but Hua Zhenghai continued. "How's your mom doing? I went to the old house to visit her, but it was empty. Did she move away?" "Yeah. Isn't there going to be a demolition? I bought her a new house." "Really? Where's the new house?" "You don't need to know about this. My mother, she doesn't seem to want to see you," Huomin said straightforwardly. Hua Zhenghai smiled awkwardly. "She still hates me, I know. I already said that I would slowly make it up to you and your mother." "All right. I heard that your brother went abroad?" "Yes. Is there anything I can help you with? I have quite a few friends in Australia." "No. Thank you for your kindness. Are you sure you don't want to have tea with me?" Hua Zhenghai asked again. "Mr. Hua, I don't like to beat around the bush. If you have something to say, just say it. There's no need to drink tea or eat. Just get to the point. We're all busy." "You? Okay. If that's the case, then I'll get straight to the point. Yin Yin is going on a blind date tomorrow with a famous person in our city. They're hosting a banquet at the Hilton Hotel. Can you and Qin Shu come as well?" Huomin immediately understood. She knew that Hua Zhenghai wouldn't ask her out for tea for no reason. So it was because Hua Yinyin was going on a blind date, and he wanted her and Qin Shu to go. After all, the president of GK was too eye-catching. "Oh, what a coincidence, Mr. Hua. We're not free tomorrow. It's just a short lunch break. Just say hi when you guys come." Hua Zhenghai tried to negotiate with Huomin. "Hua Yinyin and I aren't that close. I think it's enough if you can convince Hua Xichin to come." After speaking, Huomin got in his car and left. He didn't want to waste any more time talking to Hua Zhenghai. It was rare for him to have a day off, so Huomin immediately drove to find Zhu Lingling. The two of them sat in a private room in Hua Min's new coffee shop. They chatted casually. "Girl, is there still no news in your stomach?" Zhu Lingling quietly asked. Chapter 882. Huomin's hand paused in the middle of stirring the coffee. Then, she shook her head. "Well, I heard from my mom that there's an old Chinese medicine doctor on an old street near my house. He seems to be quite good. There were a few young couples who went to see him, and then they really had a baby. I think Chinese medicine won't hurt people anyway. Wouldn't it be better if they got better? Anyway, my mom said that he's quite amazing. Since you're free today, do you want to go see him?" If it was every other time, Huomin would have rejected her outright. However, this time, she only said one word, "Okay." Then, Huomin drove Zhu Lingling to the street where she lived. It was an old industrial area. Since Zhu Lingling grew up here, she was used to living here and was too lazy to move to the city center. Finally, she led Huomin to a small courtyard in an alley. As soon as they entered, a big, stupid dog barked. "What are you doing here?" An old lady with an unknown accent came out of the courtyard. "Hello, we're looking for Mr. Wang." Zhu Lingling vaguely remembered that the family's surname was Wang. "Oh, are you here to see a doctor?" "Yes." Huomin nodded. "Come in. It's 20 yuan for registration," the old lady said as she reached out her hand. Before Huomin could open her bag, Zhu Lingling immediately took out 20 yuan from her pocket and handed it over. Then the old lady led them all the way inside until they came to a small house. An old man in his 80s was sitting there with a pair of reading glasses and arranging herbs. There was a strong smell of Chinese medicine in the house. "Old man, we have a patient." "Oh, got it." The old man wasn't deaf at all. After hearing that, he stopped what he was doing. He turned around and walked over with slow steps. "Which one you want to see a doctor?" "Me," Huomin replied. "What do you want to see?" The old man asked seriously. I just want to check your pulse to see if you have any diseases." Zhu Lingling didn't want Huomin to say it himself. After all, she couldn't say that she was infertile. It would be awkward. The old man nodded and gestured for Huomin to sit on the chair. Then he placed a wrist pad under Hua Min's right wrist and began to take his pulse. The technique looked quite professional. In fact, Hua Min did not believe in Chinese medicine because he studied Western medicine. It was just that there were very few traditional Chinese medicine practitioners nowadays. Most of those who graduated from medical school only knew a little about it. Then, they pretended to be godly doctors and randomly prescribed medicine. It was true that Chinese medicine couldn't kill people, but if it didn't treat the illness, it couldn't be cured. If it wasn't for Zhu Lingling, she really didn't plan to see a traditional Chinese medicine doctor. Her mother had mentioned it before, but she didn't respond. "Doctor, how is it? What's wrong with my friend?" Zhu Lingling asked anxiously. The old man slowly retracted his hand and glanced at Hua Min. "She's lacking in both blood and qi. She's suffering from cold and dampness. Her womb is cold. She has a cold constitution. She probably has menstrual cramps, right?" "Yes." Hua Min nodded obediently. "Take care of your body. Otherwise, it won't be easy for you to have a baby in the future," the old man sighed. Hua Min and Zhu Lingling looked at each other. "Does she need to take some medicine?" Zhu Lingling asked. "If you trust me, I'll get some for you. If you don't, you can go to the pharmacy and buy some medicine to warm up the womb. It's best if you take it for 3 months," the old man advised. "Then I'll get some from you." Hua Min felt that the old man was right. From a Western medicine perspective, he knew that he had a cold womb. Then, he got more than 200 yuan worth of Chinese medicine from the old man. As soon as Hua Min got home, she started boiling Chinese medicine in a jar. The entire kitchen was filled with the smell of Chinese medicine. He had to take 1 packet of medicine 3 times a day. The smell was very strong and unpleasant. Most of the medicine was made from famous Chinese herbs. Anyone who had eaten Chinese herbs before knew how sour it was. After Hua Min drank it all in 1 gulp for the first time, her stomach churned. Then, she couldn't help but rush to the bathroom to vomit. When Qin Chu came back, Hua Min was still vomiting. She forced herself to drink it, but she couldn't help but vomit. Her entire mouth was filled with the weird taste of Chinese herbs. "Honey, what's wrong?" Qin Chu frowned slightly. Chapter 883. "I'm fine." Hua Min waved her hand. After brushing her teeth, she came out of the bathroom. Then, she slumped onto the sofa. "Did you make Chinese medicine?" Qin Chu's nose went numb. "Yeah." Hua Min didn't try to hide it and nodded. "What's wrong? Are you not feeling well?" Qin Chu touched Hua Min's head and realized that she wasn't feeling hot. "I went to see a Chinese doctor today. They said that I have a cold uterus. It's not easy to get pregnant with a body like this, so I wanted to get some Chinese medicine first," Hua Min said nonchalantly. "You can use dates and brown sugar as a treatment. Why did you have to drink Chinese medicine?" "Those are too slow. I want to get better quickly," Hua Min said stubbornly. Qin Chu hugged her lovingly. "Honey, you don't have to be like this, really. Even if we don't have a baby, I won't blame you. This is good enough. But I'll feel uneasy. I want a baby." Hua Min looked lonely. Just then, a timer beeped from the kitchen. Hua Min went to the kitchen to get the 2nd bowl of Chinese medicine. Then, Qin Chu looked at her and drank the bowl of black medicine in 1 gulp without even frowning. Then, Hua Min covered her mouth to stop herself from vomiting. Seeing how stubborn Hua Min was, Qin Chu's heart ached. However, he knew Hua Min's temper. Once she decided on something, she would do it until the end. So, he didn't stop her. Instead, he took out a peach from the fridge, cut it into pieces, and handed it to her. "Eat something to suppress it. You'll feel better." Hua Min took a small piece and put it in her mouth. Then, she smiled and said, "Honey, you're home early today. My dad's home. He wants us to go back for dinner tonight." "Tonight? Yeah, why? What's the matter?" "Yeah, Hua Xiqian told me to go back tonight during the meeting this morning. I'm guessing that the Huas are going to do something big tonight. Then I'll accompany you to the Hua family." Qin Chu had never been worried about the relationship between Hua Min and Hua Xiqian, so he immediately said that he wanted to accompany her. "What about your father?" Hua Min felt that something was not right. "It doesn't matter. We can go tomorrow," Qin Chu said slowly. Hua Min nodded. Qin family mansion. She thought that Qin Chu and Huamin would come back for dinner, so the maid prepared a dozen dishes. However, Qin Chu suddenly called and said that he wouldn't come back. Qin Yumin turned to the maid and said, "The food is ready now. You don't have to wait." She was not coming back. Lady Qin was immediately displeased. "Yeah, they have something to do. What is it? Don't they have time to come home for dinner?" Lady Qin asked in annoyance. Qin Yumin didn't let Song Yishur come over because he thought that they were coming back. He didn't want his daughter-in-law to think too much. Unfortunately, they weren't back yet. Chu said that the whole family has something to deal with tonight, so they went back. What? They'd rather go back to the Hua family than come to our house? It must be Hua Min's idea. Everyone says that I hate her. Did you see that? She's purposely going against me. Lady Qin suddenly lost her cool. They went back to the Hua family for something. Why are you getting so worked up? Qin Yumin didn't like his wife's attitude. He, Qin Shu, and Hua Min all thought that Lady Qin was going through menopause. Why would they go back to the Hua family for something? They're such a twisted family. What year is it now? How can I still live in the same house? They're a joke in our world. Hua Zhenghai, that shameless old man, is still as indecent as ever. Okay, let's eat. Mind your own business. Qin Yumin was impatient. He ignored his wife and walked straight to the dining table. On the other side, Hua Min and Qin Chu drove their Maybach to the Hua family's house at just the right time. 6:30 p.m. Hua Zhenghai was pleasantly surprised to see Qin Chu and Hua Min. Why didn't you call in advance? I wanted to ask the kitchen to add more food, Hua Zhenghai said happily. It's okay, we'll be leaving soon. Hua Min's tone was very indifferent. However, he still had to be polite. Qin Chu also bought Hua Zhenghai a lot of high-end gifts. When they arrived, the Hua family was already there. Jiang Hong, who hadn't seen Hua Min in a long time, was also very enthusiastic. I haven't seen you in a while. Mian is becoming more and more elegant. Jiang Hong smiled. You're too kind, Mrs. Hua. Hua Min was indifferent to them. I knew my little sister Mian was always punctual. You said 6:30 p.m., not a second later. Hua Xiqian walked down the stairs. Qin Chu didn't like the way Hua Xiqian kept calling her little sister Mian. Chapter 884. You asked Mian out? Hua Zhenghai was a bit surprised. Yeah, my mom is coming back today. Is it a family dinner? It's rare for everyone to get together. Then, everyone sat down. Hua Xi lowered his head and didn't dare to speak. He had been at home for the past few days and didn't dare to leave. After he resigned, Hua Zhenghai cut off his financial support and made him reflect on his mistakes at home. When Mian sent him WeChat messages, he had to reply in secret. He had no freedom at all. President Qin, is this your first time here? Hua Yanyan was very enthusiastic and took the initiative to talk to Qin Chu. Yes. Qin Chu's reply was cold. You look much better than on TV. I heard that GK Film and Television is doing very well. Hua Yanyan continued to ask. Qin Chu didn't know how to answer because her words were completely irrelevant. Hua Min, on the other hand, smiled and replied, Thank you for your concern. GK Film and Television has always been doing well. Hua Yanyan ignored Hua Min and continued to stare at Qin Chu with infatuation. Can I go visit the company when I have time? I really like Annie Liang's temperament and acting skills. The artists aren't at the company. They're all out of town for work or filming. Qin Chu politely refused. I see. Then can you give me an autograph or something? Hua Yanyan continued to ask shamelessly. Ahem. Have you ever seen the boss of a company ask his employees for autographs? Hua Min looked at Hua Yanyan, amused. That's right, Yanyan, that's too cheap. Don't think about those messy things. Shun Jiani tried to persuade her. Mian, I heard that you're a doctor now. Jiang Hong was very well informed. Yes, Xiqian has always been the one to do the Hua Foundation's accounts. There's not a single mistake. Not a single sin is missing. You're great. Thank you, Mrs. Hua. I'm just doing my job. In the face of Jiang Hong's praise, Hua Min wasn't happy at all because these were all tricks. Who would take it seriously? Qin Chu, the thing I told you last time, the land? It hasn't been officially launched yet, but it has already become a major project for next year. There will only be news about it after the spring festival, Qin Chu said. Oh, okay. Just don't forget what I told you. Hu Zhenghai didn't forget to ask for a share of the loot. He was shameless to the extreme. Have you been married for a long time? Is there any news in Mion's belly? Shun Jiani asked with a smile. Huamin felt that she was asking on purpose to embarrass him. Before Huamin could say anything, Qin Chu said, Mion is still young. We're not in a hurry. We're going to wait. Oh, I see. Shun Jiani nodded her head, as if she had a deeper meaning. Under the dining table, Huamin reached out his hand and tightly held on to Qin Chu's. It was so good to have him by her side. He took on all the problems for her and was always the first one to protect her. Mion is indeed still young. There's no need to be in such a hurry to have a child. What if Mion doesn't like my brother-in-law anymore? It'll be easier if you don't have a child, and the divorce won't be so troublesome since it involved child custody. After Hua Xiqian said this, everyone was shocked. Then they heard him continue, I'm just kidding. They're so loving. How could something like that happen? Qin Chu looked at Hua Xiqian, the corner of his mouth raised, and said provocatively, even if it's a joke, it's best not to. Huamin is my bottom line. I won't accept any jokes about her. Okay, I was wrong. President Qin, don't be so agitated. Hua Xiqian was still smiling, as if nothing had happened. Jiang Hong tried to smooth things over. Don't mind him, Xiqian likes to joke. Just then, Hua Xiqian took out a tablet from somewhere and said, I saw someone on the forum recently post that was really funny. Do you guys want to hear it? After he said this, no one said anything, not knowing how to respond. Hua Xiqian said again, I'll read it to you guys. This story is really interesting. I promise you guys will like it. Seeing his excited expression, Huamin knew that the show he had prepared was about to begin. Chapter 885. Hua Zhenghai, Shun Jiani, Hua Si, Yin, Jiang Hong, Huamin, Qin Chu. These 7 people were all watching Hua Xiqian put on a one-man show. Other than Hua Zhenghai's group of 4, everyone else seemed to know what was going to happen. Huamin thought that Hua Xiqian must have something on her that he could use against her. Shun Jiani's side would have no way to turn the situation around. This was Hua Xiqian's style. He loved to hit people when they were down. It was the best time for him to make a move when Shun Jiani had not recovered from the 400 million she had taken out. Hua Xiqian slowly read. It says that a small-time actress hooked up with a rich man. Unfortunately, the rich man already had a wife, so she became his mistress. In order to become his wife, she gave birth to a child and finally became a rich man. Upon hearing this, Shun Jiani's expression changed slightly. She seemed to have realized that Hua Xiqian was insinuating something. What's there to be curious about? Isn't it normal to be a mistress these days? It means that the woman is capable. Otherwise, why would the man like her? This is a survival of the fittest society. If you lose, you can't blame the mistress. Otherwise, there wouldn't be mistresses and mistresses, Hui Yanyan said. She was obviously trying to clear her mother's name, but she didn't do it well. Huamin didn't want to argue with her, so she quietly watched the show unfold. Hua Xiqian smiled again and continued reading. The rich man dotes on the mistress and her child very much. He grants them whatever they ask for. But the funny thing is, the rich man doesn't know that the child the mistress gave birth to isn't even his. It's the child of the mistress and the man she used to love. What the rich man doesn't know is that the mistress has been cheating on him with that man all these years. She's been cheating on him. Huamin realized something after hearing this. She looked at Shun Jiani in surprise. She had a man, and the child wasn't Hua Zhenghai's? Wasn't this too melodramatic? Shun Jiani's face slowly turned pale. Her eyes were filled with fear. In the end, Hua Xiqian smiled and asked Shun Jiani, Auntie Shun, do you think this story is interesting enough? Hua Xiqian, what do you mean? Why are you insinuating about my mother? Hua Yanyan couldn't hold it in anymore. Hua Xiqian continued to smile. I'm not insinuating anything. Why do you have to take my words to heart? Zhang Hong seemed to know the inside story. She didn't say anything and just drank her tea quietly. Even if you're making things up, you should have a bottom line, right? Are you suspecting that I'm not Dad's daughter? What a joke. Hui Yanyan didn't think it was possible. When she was sick, her blood had been tested and found to be of the same blood type as Hua Zhenghai's. At that time, she even said that if her father ever got sick, she could donate blood or something. Therefore, she was almost certain that Hua Xiqian was lying. It was all nonsense. That was why she was yelling so loudly. Don't look for it. The post isn't talking about you. It's about the son of the mistress. After speaking, Hua Xiqian looked at Hua Si meaningfully. Hua Zhenghai wasn't stupid. He understood what Hua Xiqian was trying to say. Then he asked, Xiqian, don't read these messy posts. They're not suitable for you. Most of them are just slanderous posts. That's true. But Dad, I found an interesting secret. What secret? Hua Zhenghai was surprised. Hua Xiqian took out his phone, opened a short video, and handed it to Hua Zhenghai. Hua Zhenghai was shocked after watching it. Where did you get this? He didn't feel good. A friend from a news agency accidentally took a picture of it and sent it to me. I bought it for 3 million yuan, or else it would have been exposed. What kind of video costs 3 million yuan? Zhang Hong purposely asked with a smile. Hua Min and Qin Shu looked at each other, as if they understood each other. Sure enough, Hua Zhenghai slammed his phone in front of Shen Jiani and yelled, "Watch this carefully." After Shen Jiani saw the video, her expression changed drastically. Chapter 886. She was scared out of her wits. It was a video of her meeting with her ex-lover at the end of last month while Hua Zhenghai was away for a meeting in Beijing. Although it wasn't very clear, it was still a video of them kissing in the apartment. Videos weren't photoshopped. You could say that the photo was photoshopped, but the video couldn't be photoshopped. Shinjiani was so scared that she immediately fell to her knees. Master, I was wrong. I was confused. With a loud slap, Hua Zhenghai slapped Shinjiani across the face. She stumbled backward from the slap. Mom! Hua Si and Huiyan both panicked and wanted to help her up. Don't touch her, Hua Zhenghai roared, scaring Huiyan and Hua Si so much that they didn't dare to move. Mom, what's going on? What video is this? Huiyan was also panicking. Nothing. It's just a video of your mom having an affair with a random man while your dad was away in Beijing, Zhang Hong said mockingly. Hua Yanyan and Hua Si were both dumbfounded. Hua Zhenghai's face was beyond ugly. Shinjiani, I never would have thought that you would betray me. Ha, that's great. You sure have guts. How dare you? HM, haven't I been good to you all these years? How dare you? Hua Zhenghai was not only furious at Shen Jiani's betrayal, but his heart also turned cold. Although he was selfish, he still loved Shen Jiani. Although he occasionally flirted with other girls, he protected Shen Jiani well. However, he was very protective of Shen Jiani and her children. He gave her a lot of money and invested a lot of love. He always thought that Shen Jiani loved him deeply, but he never thought that she would cheat on him one day. Tell me, who is that man? Hua Zhenghai asked coldly. Master, I was wrong. Please forgive me this time. I won't do it again. I won't see him again. Can you believe me? Shen Jiani crawled over, but Hua Zhenghai kicked her away. Don't touch me, you asshole. Hua Zhenghai cursed. Hua Xiqian said slowly, Dad, I got someone to look into this man. His name is Zhu Xiu. He's the owner of a restaurant and has his own family. I heard that he used to be Annie Shen's classmate in middle school. They even dated. Oh no, they've been dating all these years. I got someone to look into it and found out that he never broke up with Annie Shen. Actually, they did a good job keeping a secret, but the paparazzi's equipment is more advanced. Oh well, junior high school classmate, first love. Shinjiani, how dare you? I've been feeding you and supporting you all these years, but you've been cheating on me. Do you feel sorry for me? Hua Zhenghai clutched his chest as if he was furious. No, he's not telling the truth. We haven't contacted each other in years. I got drunk during a class reunion. I'm sorry. I promise I won't do it again. Master, Zhenghai, I still love you. Please believe me. Their affair was suddenly exposed. Even someone as smart as Shun Jiani panicked. Therefore, she started crying and begging for mercy, no longer able to keep her cool. Huamin felt sad for this woman as he watched her kneel on the ground and hug Hua Zhenghai's leg. She was willing to throw away her dignity just to keep her status as a wealthy family dad. I'm sure Mom has her reasons. Huasi felt bad for his mother and wanted to explain. However, Hua Zhenghai kicked him to the ground. Get out of my way, all right? See, I don't think you can call me dad anymore. I took your hair for a test a few days ago and found that your DNA is completely different from Dad's. So, I'm guessing you might be Zhu Xiu's son. Of course, he's your mom's only lover. After Hua Xiqian said this, everyone was shocked again. Chapter 887. You're slandering me. Hua Si pointed at Hua Xiqian and yelled. Hua Zhenghai looked at Hua Xiqian in shock. What did you say? Dad, I'm sorry. Even though the results are a bit cruel, I still have to tell you that C isn't your son. Here's a comparison report. You can take a look. Of course, if you don't believe me, you can find someone to test it for you. But there's good news. Yin Yin is indeed your daughter. When Hua Zhenghai took the report from Hua Xiqian, he felt as if he had been struck by lightning. All these years, he had never suspected that Hua Si wasn't his son. That was why he never did a DNA test, because he thought it was an insult to Shun Jiani. He didn't think that this small mistake would lead to such a big disaster. Shun Jiani was so scared that she didn't dare to speak. She never thought that her lie would be exposed one day. Back then, she was only pregnant because she had an affair. She was so scared that she didn't know what to do and wanted to abort the child. However, she was in a hurry to give birth to a son for the Hua family, so she took the risk to give birth to the child. After all, Huiyin didn't look like Hua Zhenghai. No one would suspect her, but who would have thought that Hua Xiqian would investigate her? Shun Jiani. Hua Zhenghai ran up to her like a madman and choked her with both hands. He choked her so hard that it seemed like he was going to strangle her to death. Yin Yin rushed up to save her mother, but she was bounced away and slammed into the wall. Dad, don't be rash. What's done is done. Killing her won't change anything. Hua Xiqian tried to calm him down. Just as Shun Jiani thought she was going to die, Hua Zhenghai suddenly let go of her. Let's call it a day. Mian, you and Qin Shu can go home first. I have some family matters to take care of. Okay, we'll be leaving now. Qin Shu and Hua Min stood up awkwardly. As soon as they left, Hua Zhenghai dragged Shun Jiani upstairs and locked her in her room, beating her up. Screams echoed throughout the house. Hui Yin and Hua Si were crying. They didn't know what they could do. It's all your fault. Why are you so bad? Hua Xiqian tried to hit Hua Xiqian. However, he was thrown to the ground by Chu Yang's grappling hand. He was battered and exhausted after beating up Shun Jiani. Hua Zhenghai walked downstairs. No one is allowed to leave this house. I want to investigate this thoroughly. After Hua Zhenghai calmed down, he decided to look into it again. If what Hua Xiqian said was true and Hua Si wasn't her biological son, then she would have to make a new will. Okay, Dad, we'll wait for you to find out. Hua Xiqian crossed his arms and sat on the sofa with a smile. I really pity you. You raised someone else's son for more than 20 years. Jiang Hong said mockingly. Shut up, all of you. After saying this, Hua Zhenghai clutched his chest. Then he blacked out and fell to the ground. After Hua Min and Qin Shu left the Hua mansion, they went straight back to South Hill Manor. It was early winter and the temperature was very low. The two of them held hands and sat by the fountain in front of the door. Honey, was the show at the Hua family good? What do you think? It was pretty good. Hua Zhenghai has done too many bad things, so this is karma. But Hua Xiqian is pretty ruthless. He should have known about this a long time ago. But he set Shun Jiani up and made her cough up 400 million yuan. Then he stepped on her when she was down. I think Shun Jiani and the other two, regardless of whether Hui Yin is her biological son or not, will never be able to turn things around. Hua Zhenghai will completely vent his anger on them. Yeah, That's was Xiqian's way of doing things. He's always been ruthless. Qin Shu never had a high opinion of him. All right, honey, I have something to ask you. What is it? It's Su Yu's birthday next Friday. He invited me. Do you think I should go? Huomin didn't want to hide anything from Qin Shu, so he asked for his opinion in advance. What about you? Do you want to go or not? Qin Shu asked gently. Chapter 888. Tell me the truth. Yeah, Qin Shu nodded. I don't want to go because Su Yu and I aren't close enough to celebrate each other's birthdays. I don't know why he invited me, but even if I don't want to go, I still have to go. It's because he gave me something on my birthday, and I want to return it to him. What is it? Qin Shu was slightly surprised. Huomin never mentioned it to him. Maybe because he didn't want Qin Shu to get jealous. Huomin took out a bullet shell from her purse. This is it? Qin Shu carefully picked up the bullet shell and looked at it. There was nothing special about it. Yeah, he stopped my car on the way here and gave me this. He said it was a wish for me, and that if I ever needed his help, he would definitely help me. Then he really put in a lot of effort. Qin Shu said with a hint of jealousy. Huomin leaned on Qin Shu's shoulder with a smile. Hey, is Mr. Qin jealous? Would you believe me if I said no? Nope. So be it. Qin Shu lovingly patted her head. Actually, I know that this is pretty expensive, and I've been looking for a chance to return it to him. Since it's his birthday, I'll come back right after I give it to him. That way, I'll be able to fulfill my wish. Sounds good, but there's something you need to pay attention to. Qin Shu gently reminded her. What is it? Huomin looked at Qin Shu in confusion. Su Yu is a famous person in the city, and there'll be a lot of media coverage on his birthday. Don't let anyone catch on to you. I'm afraid that someone will use this opportunity to create hype. Plus, my dad cares about his reputation a lot. If our personal matters affect the company, he might have a biased opinion of you. Qin Shu spoke very seriously, without being pretentious or pretentious. Qin Yuman's attitude toward Huomin was much better now, and he had already accepted it. If there was any negative news because of this, his grandfather would be estranged. He could ignore his mother's opinion, but he still had to consider his grandfather's opinion. After all, Qin Shu still respected his father very much. Huomin completely understood what he meant. They could go to his birthday party. It didn't matter if they had a meal together. But don't let the media get hold of any information that can be used against you. If they magnify it, it won't be good for your image. After all, everyone was a public figure now, especially since GK Film and Television and Imperial Star were competitors. I understand. Huomin nodded. The next morning, as soon as Huomin arrived at the hospital, she received a call from her sister Ingzi, saying that Ni Yang was throwing a tantrum and wanted her to take a look. Huomin was wearing a white lab coat and black rimmed glasses. When she went up to the top floor, Ni Yang had already changed into casual clothes and was about to go out. Where are you going dressed like this? Sister Huomin, you're just in time. I've been bored to death for the past few days. I want to go out for a walk. No. Huomin stopped him. Huomin, even you don't understand me. And Yang was a bit surprised. It's not that I don't understand you. I have to be responsible for you. So, are you going to tell me? What's wrong with me? Or else I'll leave the hospital right now. I don't want to live here anymore. I'm going crazy. I don't like doctors. I want to go home. And Yang threatened. Sister Ingzi looked conflicted. Huomin also remained silent. What? Are you guys still going to hide it from me? Tell me. Even if it's cancer, I'm not afraid. I've lived long enough. Hurry up and tell me. Don't hide it from me like I'm a child. I want to know about the surgery anyway, unless one of you can sign it for me. And Yang felt like something was wrong these past few days. He felt like the medical staff was too careful with him. Sister Ingzi wasn't in a good mood either, and Huomin even checked on him 3 times a day. Who would believe that he just had indigestion? Chapter 889. Change out of your clothes, and I'll tell you, Huomin said calmly. A young lady, Sister Ingzi, seemed worried. It's okay, Sister Ingzi. I'll talk to him. You can leave first. Huomin nodded at Sister Ingzi, and Yang was more obedient. He went to the bathroom to change out of his casual clothes, put on a hospital gown, and sat down. Tell me what's wrong with you. Don't lie to me. To put it bluntly, your liver is failing and you need a small liver transplant. A liver transplant? Is it liver cancer? And Ayang looked up calmly. It's not liver cancer. It's a more troublesome type of cirrhosis. Because it's in the middle and late stages, you need a liver transplant. It's that serious? Is there a kidney transplant? Yes, I found one. So soon. And Ayang obviously didn't believe him. Of course, when have I ever lied to you? Then, when is the surgery? Within 5 days. After a series of tests, the surgery will be done. After the surgery, I'll be cured. Yes. It's that simple. Yes, it's that simple. After Huamin finished speaking, and Ayang still felt unsure. He looked at Huamin suspiciously. Huamin smiled. Don't look at me like that. I'm not lying to you. But you don't have to be in such a hurry. I thought I had a terminal illness. The main problem is that your liver is failing, and it's affecting your digestive system. If you don't get the surgery in time, it'll affect your appetite and your weight. That's the main problem. Okay, I don't know much about professional stuff, but from what you've said, it shouldn't be a big problem. Of course, don't worry about it. Huamin comforted him. After talking to Ayang, the kid calmed down a lot and didn't want to go out anymore. When Huamin walked out of the room, Sister Ingzi immediately went up to him. How is it? A young lady. He's fine. Don't worry. He's using Weibo and interacting with his fans, Huamin said with a smile. Did he have any reaction after he knew? No. It's not a life-threatening illness to begin with. Why are you making a fuss over nothing? That's great. Thank you, a young lady. Why are you thanking me? It's because the liver donor is great. That's why he was able to perform the surgery so quickly. Yeah, who is the donor? I plan to give her a sum of money as compensation. After all, she helped Ayang. Hearing Sister Ingzi's words, Huamin shook his head. No need, she won't ask for money. You don't want money? Sister Ingzi looked even more confused. Forget it. I'll tell you about it later. I'm going to get busy. Call me if you need anything. Huamin was busy at South Side for the entire day. During this time, Huasiqian sent a WeChat message saying that Hua Zhenghai had investigated the matter and found out that it was true. The Hua family's power structure had changed drastically. Xinjiani and her daughters had been banished to the Cold Palace. They were grounded by Hua Zhenghai and weren't allowed to go out. His will was about to be changed. Hua Zhenghai also said that on the day of the change, Huamin had to be present. Mian, the two of us can take their share of the cake. How does that sound? Huasiqian sent a WeChat message. I don't want the cake. It's not mine to begin with. I'll give it all to you. Huamin wasn't greedy. She didn't want a single cent from the Hua family. Plus, she wasn't Hua Zhenghai's daughter to begin with. You don't want the money? Are you stupid? Huasiqian sent a WeChat message. Money isn't a good thing. It'll burn you if you have too much. I don't want things that aren't mine. You sound like you're not a member of the Hua family. Huasiqian said meaningfully. Huamin began to feel conflicted. Did Huasiqian know about her background or not? If he did, how much did he know? Did he know more than she did? Chapter 890. Huh? Why aren't you talking? Huasiqian sent her another WeChat message. Huasiqian, you seem to know a lot of secrets. Huamin used to a lot, at once to test Huasiqian and see how much he knew. Huh? I didn't know a lot. To her surprise, Huasiqian didn't deny it. Huamin felt her heart race. Maybe she could get all the information she wanted from Huasiqian. Nervously holding her phone, she sent him another WeChat message. How much do you know? How much do you want me to know? Huasiqian was still beating around the bush. I don't know how much you know. Then what do you want me to know? I know too much. What do you want to know? Huasiqian was quite arrogant. The truth was, Huamin didn't want to alert him because she didn't want him to trick her. Therefore, she asked subtly, Actually, I just want to know about something that happened more than 20 years ago. Everyone says that my mom ran away with Hua Zhenghai's chauffeur. Uncle Jing was the Hua family chauffeur back then, but I don't think there's anything wrong with them falling in love. I should have asked Uncle Jing about this, but unfortunately, he's not here anymore. Some things are too old to be verified. Huasiqian chuckled at her words. Why are you laughing? Actually, Jingda's death might be a good thing for you. What do you mean? Uncle Jing died because of me. How sad am I? Because of this, Huamin was forced to separate from Qin Chu for 7 years. Now that Hua Xiqian said it was a good thing, she couldn't accept it. What I mean is, if Jingda didn't die, you might have died instead. It's because he saved me that I felt guilty for the rest of my life. How do you know he did it to save you? Maybe he was the target all along. Besides, you may not know Jingda well. I only remember that my father and my mother both said that he was very shrewd. How is that possible? I was the one that was hit by that car. Hua Xiqian, you can't slander Uncle Jing. He's no longer alive. We should respect the dead. Huamin clearly remembered the situation at that time. Therefore, Hua Xiqian's reasoning made her very angry. She couldn't accept such extreme words at the moment. Hua Xiqian chuckled softly. Heh, don't get too worked up. I was just joking. Seeing that Huamin was a little agitated, Hua Xiqian didn't dwell on the matter any longer. So, do you want to come when the old man changes his will? No. Huamin was still determined. But for what I know about the old man, if you don't come, he'll probably give you a share, Hua Xiqian added. I don't want it even if he gives it to me. Can I give it up? Okay. Qin Chu really didn't mistreat you. I can tell from the way you sound like you're rich. Fine. Then it's all mine, so I don't have to worry about whether or not I should kick you out of the game in the future. Hua Xiqian said half of the truth and stopped texting. Huamin felt chills all over her body. She was just testing Hua Xiqian, but he knew a lot. She had never doubted Uncle Jing's character. After all, he had been very good to them all these years. He didn't give Huamin a hard time at all. However, Huamin knew that Hua Xiqian wasn't the kind of person who would spout nonsense. He must have his reasons for saying what he said. If what he said was true, then there might be more to what happened all those years ago. She thought it was a scheme set up by the Qin family to kill her. Uncle Jing only blocked it, but Hua Xiqian was saying that Uncle Jing was the enemy's target, not her. If Uncle Jing didn't die, then she would have died. Uncle Jing wasn't as good as she thought. If this was before, Huamin wouldn't have doubted Uncle Jing, who had saved her life. But now, everything was really hard to say because it was too complicated and confusing. Uncle Jing was the person who knew her background the best, but he kept it a secret all these years. And in Dongtao Town, everyone who knew the truth died a horrible death. Maybe there really was a terrifying mastermind behind all of this? Maybe Uncle Jing's death had something to do with this? And what about Qin Chu's parents? Was he just a scapegoat on the surface? Were they being used? At this thought, Huamin shuddered. It was too scary. What kind of person could plan a conspiracy for 20 years and control everything? After work, she drove straight back to Sky Blessing Court. After Jixin left, she wanted to spend more time with her mother. You're off work. Yang Meirong's eyes were filled with joy when she saw her daughter. Chapter 891. Emma, are you tired? You've been so busy lately. Huamin shook her head. I'm not tired. I'm not as busy as you think. Yang Meirong took out an apple, washed it, and handed it to Huamin. Thank you, Mom. She smiled sweetly. Jixin called me. He's already here. He said it's pretty nice there. MHM. He sent me a WeChat message, too. I saw the photos. The environment is really nice. Mom, don't be angry. Technology is so advanced nowadays. Video calls are very convenient. I know, I don't miss him. I miss you. You don't have a child. I'm worried sick. Yang Meirong was worried sick about Huamin's pregnancy, so she always talked about it. Mom, Lingling took me to see a Chinese doctor the other day. I'm taking medicine now. Don't worry, I'll have a baby soon. The doctor said that I have a cold body and can't get pregnant, but they didn't say that I can't get pregnant. It's not a big problem. That's good. Take your medicine on time and take care of yourself. Also, tell the hospital not to work at night. It's not good for your health. I know. Mom. Oh, right, Mom. Who named me back then? Why is it Huamin? Yang Meirong sat down on the sofa next to her and tried to remember. At that time, I remember that I named you Hua Yunyun. That's so old-fashioned. Huamin almost spat out the apple. If she was named Hua Yunyun now, Qin Chu would probably laugh at her. Yeah, Your Uncle Jing said it wasn't special enough. He said he wanted to give you a special name. Uncle Jing, why did he have to give me a special name? Huamin looked at her mother in confusion. She felt more and more that Uncle Jing had a lot of secrets. Why didn't she realize it before? Was it really like Hua Zhenghai said, that Uncle Jing was very shrewd? Who knows? You were different from Jixin. Jixin would go to sleep after drinking milk, but you couldn't. You were always crying before you were a month old, and you were very loud. We couldn't sleep well. Later, your Uncle Jing said, why don't we call you Huamin? Mean as in sleep. I hope you'll be able to sleep well in the future. That's how we decided on your name. Mom, when I was born, didn't you find Dr. Lan from Dongtao Town to deliver me? Then, after I was born, did Uncle Jing still keep in touch with Dr. Lan and the others? Why do you keep saying that they're distant relatives? Yang Meirong nodded. Yeah, we do. When I was in confinement, your Uncle Jing went to Dongtao Town once and gave Dr. Lan some of our local specialties. And then? Does Uncle Jing return to Dongtao Town often? Huamin asked. It's okay, quite often. He had to help you with some miscellaneous paperwork and stuff. Who knows? Anyway, when I was in confinement, your Uncle Jing was the one running around. Yang Meirong didn't seem to know much about these things. Most of the time, she followed Jing's orders. Mom, do you still have Uncle Jing's belongings? I want to take a look. Why would you look at it? It's bad luck. Yang Meirong seemed unhappy. I'm a doctor. Why would I believe in those things? Mom, help me look for it. I miss Uncle Jing. Wait here. I'll go look for it. I don't think there's anything left, just a small box. Then, Yang Meirong went upstairs and soon came back down with a small box. Huamin smiled. Mom, can you heat up a glass of milk for me? I want to drink it. Sure, wait here. After sending her mother away, Huamin quickly opened the small black box and began to look through Uncle Jing's belongings. She tried to find some clues because she was getting more and more curious and wanted to know what happened back then. Chapter 892. The result was very disappointing. There were only a few things in the old box. An old-fashioned razor and a flashlight. These were all things that Uncle Jing often used when he was alive. There was also an old cell phone. It was the oldest model and was equivalent to an old man's phone. It couldn't be turned on anymore. Huamin secretly took out the cell phone and put it in her bag. If she wanted to take out the cell phone's chip, she would have to find a professional. Perhaps she would be able to find out who Uncle Jing was with before and after the accident 7 years ago. There was also half a pack of unfinished cigarettes. It was a rather old brand, the kind that cost 5 yuan a pack. Beside it was a lighter. It seemed that her mother still missed Uncle Jing, so she kept these things. At the bottom was a book that Uncle Jing often read. It was very funny. It wasn't a classic book, nor was it a more exciting martial arts novel. It was a fortune-telling book, the kind that didn't ask for help. Huamin flipped it open and saw that there were fortune-telling, and the 12 zodiac signs. These had always been popular in the countryside, because most of the villagers believed in these so-called fortune-telling. Huamin remembered that Uncle Jing used to love reading it. Sometimes he would look at the almanac before going out. She thought that this kind of book wouldn't have any clues. Unintentionally, Huamin flipped to the calendar of the month she was born. On the perpetual calendar, it was September 18th, 1992. Someone had circled it with a pen. This wasn't strange. After all, it was Huamin's birthday. It was normal for Uncle Jing to mark it for her. But the strangest thing was that at the bottom of the book, there were 3 words written in black with a ballpoint pen. Regret. Only the words regret. The handwriting was a little messy. It was obvious that it was written by Uncle Jing. When they were organizing the belongings, no one looked through it carefully, so they didn't find it. Now, it seemed that Uncle Jing was referring to regret. Was it because he knew that she wasn't Yang Meirong's child and brought her back? Or was there something else? Huamin had more questions when he found this. The milk is ready, Mian. Huamin immediately closed the small box when he heard the noise. Thank you, Mom. She took the milk and drank it slowly. Yang Meirong glanced at Jing, his belongings with a sad look in her eyes. This guy doesn't have the life to enjoy a good life. In the past, he raised our entire family by himself. Now that our lives are better, he's gone. How ironic. Yang Mei Yurong sighed. Mom, Uncle Jing didn't have any savings these years? That's not true. He's just a chauffeur. It's already good enough that he can support his family. Before the accident, he told me that he wanted to partner up with someone to do something. In the end, the accident happened. At the end of the day, he just doesn't have the life of a rich man. Huomin lowered her head and didn't say anything. She remembered Hu Xiqin mentioning that Hu Zhenghai had given Jing the 200,000 yuan. It seemed that Jing had never taken out the money to give to his mother. Therefore, she also suspected that the flow of money had something to do with her background. Uncle Jing seemed to be in contact with someone behind mother's back. She stayed at her mother's house until late at night. She didn't leave until Qin Shu came to pick her up. Huomin didn't mention the phone and the belongings to Qin Shu. This was because she heard from Qin Shu and Rick that Qin Shu had been investigating this incident. However, this incident was very strange. People kept disappearing. Therefore, Huomin didn't want Qin Shu to take any more risks because of her. Honey, what are you thinking about? Qin Shu asked gently when he saw that she was a little distracted. Nothing. I just miss Jixin. Huomin changed the subject. Didn't Jixin send you a WeChat message? He's settled down over there. Everything is fine. Yeah, he told me. Huomin nodded. The couple went home and went to bed early. The next afternoon, Huomin took advantage of the lunch break to go find Jiang Xiaowei at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Although Jiang Xiaowei was pregnant, she didn't hesitate at all and continued to work at the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Wei Liao was also at the company during the day. The couple was busy with their own work. Jiang Xiaowei was very happy to see Huomin. She grabbed his hand and said, "We know each other so well. I was just about to ask you out for lunch. Let's go. We have authentic Cantonese food downstairs." Before Huomin could say anything, Jiang Xiaowei pulled Huomin all the way to the restaurant downstairs. "Xiaowei, I'm here today because I need your help." Chapter 893. Go ahead. Jiang Xiaowei nodded. Huomin took out a cell phone from her pocket and placed it on the table. Puffed. This is way too old. Don't tell me this is your old cell phone. Jiang Xiaowei looked at the old Nokia cell phone that hadn't appeared on the market for many years. Her jaw dropped. No, it's an old friend of mine. He's no longer around, but there seems to be some clues in the phone. Now the phone is turned off and seems to be broken. Can you get someone to check the call history of this phone for me? Call history? Take out the card and go to the business hall? Jiang Xiaowei was surprised. Huomin shook her head. There's no card. There was no card when I got it. No card? Jiang Xiaowei was confused. Huomin knew it wasn't that simple. She didn't think it was a coincidence that the card in the cell phone was missing. That was why she wanted to know who else Uncle Jing was in contact with before and after the accident. So, can you check it out? Can you find a programming expert? Huomin had a glimmer of hope. Jiang Xiaowei picked up the cell phone and looked at it. Let's try. I can't guarantee anything. We do have a top programming expert in the city bureau. I have a good relationship with him. I'll show it to him. All right. Then I'll have to trouble you. Don't mention it. Don't you always help me? Jiang Xiaowei smiled. How have you been recently? You don't have morning sickness or anything like that, right? No. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'll eat and drink when I want it. That's good. You don't have to suffer. The wedding is on the 1st of January. You have to be there. Of course. By the way, are you going to Suyu's birthday cocktail party next week? Jiang Xiaowei suddenly asked. I haven't decided yet. I'll see. In fact, Huomin wanted to keep a low profile and not let anyone know. Qin Chu was right. Her and Suyu's identities were very sensitive, so it was better not to make a big deal out of it. For this reason, she did not tell Jiang Xiaowei directly. That's a good idea. You're now a young lady of GK, and it's hard to say if someone takes a picture of you. It's good that you don't come, but Suyu will probably be very disappointed. Wei Liao said that he's changed a lot recently. He rarely gets involved in scandals and spends most of his time working at the corporation. It seems like he's turned over a new leaf, and it's all thanks to you. What does it have to do with me? At the end of the day, his nature isn't bad, Huamin replied. That's true. Suyu is really a difficult person to deal with. He looks wanton and unrestrained, but he's actually a good person. At first, I thought that he had an affair with Jiantong, but later I found out that it was just a publicity stunt. Suyu doesn't seem to be the same as before. The truth is, he has nothing to do with me. I don't really pay attention to his affairs. Huamin had always been aware of her identity, so she had always avoided any contact with Suyu. She cherished a relationship with Qin Shu, so she constantly reminded herself to stay rational and not make any impulsive decisions. This is why I like you. You're so decisive. You're either black or white. There's no gray or ambiguity. If you like Qin Shu, you'll marry him regardless of the consequences. If you don't like Suyu, you'll reject him. You don't give him hope or whet his appetite to show off your charm. So, Huamin, I really admire you. You're truly domineering and pretentious. After Jiang Xiaowei finished speaking, both of them laughed. That night, Huamin and Qin Shu returned to Sky Blessing Court to have dinner with their mother. To their surprise, Hua Zhenghai came. Why are you here? Huamin's attitude wasn't friendly when he saw him. Mian, don't misunderstand. I didn't ask someone to investigate. I went to the old house and heard from the neighbors that you guys moved to Sky Blessing Court, so I came to see you guys. Hua Zhenghai continued to pretend to be a loving father. Mr. Hua, you must be very busy at home. How do you have time to see us? Huamin's words were laced with sarcasm. It made Hua Zhenghai feel very awkward. Chapter 894. Mom, you probably don't know what happened to Mr. Hua's family, right? Huamin looked at Yang Meiyerong and asked, What happened? Yang Meiyerong looked confused. She really didn't know, and Huamin didn't mention it to her. Mr. Hua, do you want to tell her, or should I? Huamin looked at Hua Zhenghai with a sharp gaze. Hua Zhenghai didn't know what to say. If you can't say it, then I'll say it for you. That woman, Shun Jiani, betrayed Mr. Hua and met her lover for more than 20 years. Not only were they caught on camera, but Huasi was also proven not to be Mr. Hua's son. What? Huamin said everything in one breath. Yang Meiyerong was completely dumbfounded. Hua Zhenghai took the opportunity to hold Yang Meiyerong's hand and said, Rong Rong, you're the best. I was blind to believe that bitch, Shun Jiani. I'm so sorry for you and your mother. No, you're not sorry for me. You're sorry for my mom. Even though she was a mistress, she didn't want to break up your family. She was the only one who foolishly believed that it was love. Huamin knew his mother's difficulties. Even though she was also a mistress, she was different. Shun Jiani did it for money, power, and the Hua family's fortune. Yang Meiyerong was trapped by love. Once, she wanted to die because Hua Zhenghai had a change of heart. Luckily, she met Jingda, and the two of them got together and lived a normal life. Mr. Hua, you can't be so snobbish. You gave up on my mother back then, so what's wrong with coming back to admit your mistake? Not all mistakes deserve to be forgiven. You can't come here to seek comfort just because Shun Jiani hurt you. Our family doesn't sell Yunnan Baiyao. We can't heal your trauma. Everyone knew that Huamin had a sharp tongue. Qin Shu quietly watched Huamin show off. His wife's aura was indeed oppressive. That charm, that aura, it was simply too mesmerizing. Qin Shu almost couldn't help but laugh when he saw Hua Zhenghai's face darken and darken, then turn green again. How did his wife come up with such a rich vocabulary? What the hell? Ha! That's great. That's great. I didn't think that you would have such a day. I knew that Shun Jiani wouldn't want to be left out. Yang Meiyerong smiled. Now that she had gotten her revenge, she felt much more relaxed. Rong Rong, I was blind. I'm sorry. Hua Zhenghai kept apologizing. Then he tilted his head to look at Huamin and said, Mian, I didn't come here today to beg for your forgiveness. In fact, I came here to ask you to verify my new will. I've already decided to give a large portion of my assets to you and your daughter. I'm sorry, Mr. Hua, but we don't need money anymore. Maybe we used to be poor, but we're doing well now. my husband, Mr. Chin Shu, has given us a lot of food, clothing, and money, so we're not interested in your will. If you don't have a place to donate, then donate it to a welfare home or charity. Huomin definitely wouldn't accept Hua Zhenghai's will. If it was before, she wouldn't have been so pretentious and would have just accepted it. However, now that she knew that she wasn't Hua Zhenghai's daughter, she wouldn't go against her conscience and take this kind of money. After all, she wasn't a woman like Shun Jiani, who would do anything. Mian is right. We don't need money, so we don't need a will. The truth was, Hua Zhenghai wasn't that kind. The only reason he was willing to change his will was because he was tricked by Shun Jiani. Moreover, he had already thought about it. If he could get on good terms with Huomin in the future, then GK would be one of his backers. When the time came, he could use Qin Shu to deal with Hua Xiqian and take out everything that belonged to him. Therefore, he had to give Huomin a taste of his own medicine. Unfortunately, Huomin didn't buy it. Nephew Qin Shu, please help me. I really want to leave some money for them. If I'm gone, they'll have insurance. Hua Zhenghai stared at Qin Shu, who hadn't spoken yet. Chapter 895. Look at how fake Hua Zhenghai's words were. Qin Shu calmly replied, "It's okay, Uncle Hua. I can take care of my wife, and I won't mistreat my mother-in-law. You're overthinking things." Qin Shu's words made Hua Zhenghai even more speechless. Hua Zhenghai was the one who gave him the cold shoulder. Did you hear that? We don't care about your stupid money. Don't think you're so great just because you're rich. Let me tell you, it's useless. I was with you back then partly because of money, but after all these years, I've realized that no matter how much money you have, your happiness won't increase because of it. No matter how rich you are, you won't live to be 200 years old. Yang Meirong was also on her daughter's side. Hua Zhenghai saw that this family wasn't going to listen to him, so he got up and left. Mom, the Hua family is in chaos right now. I don't know what he's up to. Don't open the door for him again, okay? I know. I only let him in because he said he wanted to talk to me about something important. If I knew he was like this, I would have kicked him out a long time ago. Hua Zhenghai really can't change his ways. He's always slandering your Uncle Jing. How shameless. Huh? Did he say anything to you about Uncle Jing? Huomin immediately asked. Yeah, he always slandered your Uncle Jing in front of me. He said that your Uncle Jing is a shrewd person and that he'll never be able to see through him, that he's always in the dark, and that he'll help people count the money after being sold. Oh, what's wrong? Yang Meirong asked curiously. Nothing, I'm just asking. Huomin smiled and didn't ask any more questions. On the way back, Qin Shu shook Huomin's hand and asked with a smile, "Why are you so mysterious lately?" "Nothing. I feel like you're hiding something from me." "Why would I?" Huomin immediately denied, feeling guilty. "Really?" Qin Shu obviously didn't believe him. "I really didn't. Mr. Qin, I swear to God. Anyway, if I find out, I'll teach you a lesson." Qin Shu smirked and didn't say anything else. In the blink of an eye, Su Yu's birthday arrived. A few days before that, all the media began to report on it. Many people had been paying attention to it. They had thought that Su Yu would hold a grand birthday party at Imperial Star. But there was no movement when Jian Tong, Mian, and the other female artists were interviewed. They all said that they didn't know about their boss's arrangements. The employees of Imperial Star were also tight-lipped about their boss's birthday. But the more it was like this, the more curious the media became. Su Yu's birthday party started at 6 p.m. in Su Yu's private villa. It was the villa with the most luxurious private aquarium in the country. Wei Liao had once joked about entering Su Yu's villa. It felt like following Ocean Park. Yes. There was tempered glass everywhere, and all kinds of marine life and tropical fish could be seen everywhere. It was so romantic to sleep in his house, but unfortunately, no woman could stay in Su Yu's mansion. Because he really didn't like strangers entering his personal space. Even when Zhao Qingyao was his favorite, she didn't receive such treatment. Su Yu's 28th birthday was very important to the Su family. At noon, Su Yu had lunch with his grandparents. Then, According to tradition, he went to the Su family's ancestral hall to offer incense and kowtow to his ancestors. At night, he came back to the villa and began the young people's celebration. Famous directors and actresses from all over the country arrived in Sea City. Luxury cars were parked outside Su Yu's private villa. However, because the villa was heavily guarded, the media couldn't get in. So, most of them hid outside anxiously. Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei attended the party. Tang Chuan had a new female partner. She was Chinese-Russian and was rumored to be the new favorite on the runway. She was 178 meters tall. Because the theme of the party was red, all the guests, regardless of gender, wore red. It was as festive as the Spring Festival. Su Yu wore a dark red casual shirt with black decorative stripes on his sleeves and chest. It was luxurious and elegant. There was a black jewel on his left ear, which shone brightly under the illumination of the lights. Holy shit, look! Lord Su is so handsome tonight, Tang Chuan exclaimed to Wei Liao and the others from afar. Chapter 896. Everyone looked over and saw Su Yu standing in the middle of the crowd with a glass of champagne in his hand. He kept looking at the door as if he was waiting for someone to arrive. Su Yu's private mansion had a 400-square-meter garden and was extremely luxurious. The style of the design was unprecedented as well. Many celebrities were shocked when they walked in and clicked their tongues in amazement. A red carpet was laid out from the entrance all the way to the front of the mansion. On the stage beside the swimming pool, a famous girl group was singing and dancing enthusiastically. Western food, red wine, champagne, and all kinds of drinks and food were everywhere. There were also countless flowers decorating the place. Extravagance and spending money had always been Su Yu's style. Although he didn't want to make it public, he didn't spend a lot of money. However, the decorations were not any less extravagant. It was still extremely luxurious and eye-catching. Lord Su, you're so handsome today. I'm about to fall in love with you. Tang Chuan went over to tease him. Stop bullshitting. If you don't have anything to do, help me receive more guests. I'm so busy that I'm going crazy. Su was speechless. Those who weren't invited didn't know how they found out, so they arrived one after another. It was like the opening of a film festival. All the artists under Imperial Star were present. Even Annie Liang, who had already jumped ship, came. She was wearing a bright red gown and was dressed very flirtatiously. Dr. Jiang, you're very beautiful today. Su Yu looked at Jiang Xiaowei and smiled. I've always been this beautiful, okay? Jiang Xiaowei held onto Wei Liao's arm. How is it? When is young Master Wei coming out? The expected date is August next year. Wei Liao seemed to have a sense of superiority. After all, he was the first one to become a father out of all of them. Hey, hurry up, who's that? The girls went crazy. Su Yu and Wei Liao also looked toward the door. A man in a red tuxedo walked in. He didn't smile, and his eyes were sharp. He was very good-looking, but everyone didn't seem to have seen him before. Is that the new artist under Imperial Star? He's so handsome. It can't be. Imperial Star didn't advertise it, but it's really good. So cool. You're not even smiling. The girls whispered to each other. The man walked straight to Su Yu. Then he stretched out his hand. Lord Su, happy birthday. When did you return to China? Su Yu was really surprised. This was Shun Mingxi, the son of the Beiyang Automobile Company. He was one of the 4 princes of the nation, along with Su Yu, Hua Xiqian, and Wei Liao. His looks and family background crushed Tang Chuan's, so Tang Chuan did not have a good impression of him. However, because he had been studying in England, very few people in China had seen him before. According to the rumors, he and Su Yu had a blind spot. Looking at it now, there was indeed some basis for it. I just arrived last night. Why didn't you call in advance? I'll pick you up. If I told you in the past, would it still be a surprise? Shun Mingxi replied. Su Yu smiled. The two chatted for a while, and then Shun Mingxi walked in. Pretentious guy. Why is he back? Tang Chuan looked unconvinced. You don't hold a grudge over the rankings from back then, okay? He doesn't care about it, but you still can't forget it. Wei Liao laughed. I can't take this lying down. Our families are about the same, but we lost because of our looks. If we're talking about looks, I'm more handsome than him. Okay? Yeah, you're the most handsome person in the world. Then, Suyu turned around and left. Fuck, Lord Su. Why do I feel like you're insulting me? Tang Chuan complained behind him. Wei Liao and Jiang Xiaowei were amused. Huh? Old Wei, do you think Qinshu will come? If your wife is being coveted, do you think you'd still go to her birthday party? Pfft, that's a good explanation. How big is that? If you don't like it, let's make a bet. I bet a yacht that Qinshu won't come. Wei Liao laughed. Chapter 897. I'm not betting. I'm scared that I won't even be able to put on my pants if I lose. But I have a feeling that Huamin will come, Tang Chuan added. You're feeling. I think that Huamin will divorce Lord Su. Wei Liao rolled his eyes at him. He felt that Tang Chuan's guesses were mostly unreliable. There were so many people at this kind of event. It wasn't appropriate for Huamin to come, right? Just then, a guest walked in and attracted attention again. Song Yishe? Why is she here? Tang Chuan was surprised to see Song Yishe. He didn't remember her being that close to Lord Su. Young Master Su, happy birthday. Song Yishe was wearing a pair of red, wide-legged pants and a white short-sleeved shirt. Although it was early winter outside, Su Yu's mansion was filled with enthusiasm. Most of the guests were wearing summer clothes. Thank you. My father is out of town for a meeting, so I'm here on his behalf. Please forgive me, young Master Su. Song Yishe was indeed a social expert. Every frown and smile of hers was perfect and didn't make people feel uncomfortable. Mayor Song was very concerned about Su Yu's birthday. He told Song Yishe to come and bring a gift. That was because old Master Su had a lot of influence. Who would dare to offend his precious grandson? My father asked me to bring this to young Master Su. Song Yishe handed him a cylinder. Please thank Mayor Song for me. Su was calm. He was used to dealing with these bureaucrats. I heard that young Master Su and Huamin are good friends? Song Yishe suddenly asked. Su raised his head and looked at her quietly. He didn't know what she meant. Just then, Song Yishe added, Huamin and I are friends too. She's a nice person and I like her a lot. Oh, is that so? Su Yu's reaction was very indifferent. He didn't like people probing his relationship with Huamin. Or rather, he didn't think that he had anything to do with Huamin now. If I like someone, I won't say anything. Is there anything wrong with that? In the distance, Jiang Xiaowei looked at Song Yishe and whispered, I don't like this Song Yishe. Why? Wei Liao was a little surprised. There's no particular reason. It's just a feeling. It's the feeling I got at first sight. It's right that you don't like her. She might be Hua Min's biggest rival. This woman is the apple of Mr. and Mrs. Qin's eye. She's Lady Qin's weapon. She's also the only woman who can come and go freely in the Qin manor and openly meet Qin Shu. Tang Chuan had always been well informed, so he began to dig up information about Song Yishe. A woman like her. Forget it. I don't think she's a match for my Hua. Jiang Xiaowei liked Huamin a lot, so she sometimes referred to her as my Hua in front of outsiders. It was an extremely intimate way of addressing her. Wei Liao smiled as well. I don't think she's a match for her either. There's no one who could defeat Huamin in front of Qin Shu, right? Wei Liao had personally witnessed Qin Shu's feelings for Huamin, so the couple echoed each other. Tang Chuan, on the other hand, whistled and said, I actually hope that she can defeat Huamin. Then, Huamin will be heartbroken and fall into the arms of my Lord Su. My heart aches for my Lord Su. Jiang Xiaowei, Wei Liao. Fine, they had to give in to Tang Chuan's words. This guy always liked to watch the drama unfold. Not long after Song Yishe entered, Hua Xiqian arrived as well. He was wearing a red tuxedo and looked extremely flamboyant. Beside him was Mo Shui, who was wearing a red strapless evening gown. As soon as Mo Shui appeared, she became the center of attention once again. Many famous directors and producers surrounded her, as if they really wanted to work with her. Hua Xiqian and Suyu stood on the side. Today's event is quite grand. I'm already being very low-key, Suyu said with a smile as he took a sip of champagne. Will she be here? Who? Suyu pretended not to know. You know, don't play dumb with me, okay? Huh. I'm not sure. She didn't say, but I invited her. Suyu smiled bitterly. He really wanted Huamin to come, but Huamin probably wouldn't come. I'm guessing that girl from my family will come. Huasiqian smiled mysteriously. How do you know? Did she tell you? Suyu asked with a glimmer of hope. Chapter 898. How's that possible? She's not the type of person to say things like that. I just think that even though she looks cold and sharp-tongued, she knows who's good to her and knows how to be grateful. I think she definitely knows how you feel about her. You gave her fireworks and a motorcade for her birthday. I don't think she won't show up. She'll at least say happy birthday. That's her personality. Huasiqian watched Huamin grow up. Even though they didn't interact much, he knew her personality very well. Therefore, he guessed that Huamin might show up. However, it was hard to say. After all, if she cared about Qin Shu's feelings, she might not show up. It was hard to say. When Suyu heard this, he stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his lips. He didn't say anything. He used to think that birthdays were just for everyone to burn money to celebrate, and that it was meaningless. However, this time, he suddenly felt that he had something to look forward to. If Huamin suddenly showed up and said happy birthday, he would be very happy, right? After all, the person who said happy birthday was too important to him. However, he also knew that if Huamin didn't want Qin Shu to be unhappy, she might not show up. After all, to Huamin, no one was more important than Qin Shu. Shui was surrounded by a group of people asking for autographs and photos. Then, they posted it on their WeChat moments to show off. Huasiqian was bored, so he walked up to Song Yishur with a glass of wine in his hand. Hey, Miss Song. Young Master Hua. You're so beautiful today. I always thought that you were the most exquisite woman I've ever seen. Thank you. But if Miss Amo hears this, she'll probably be jealous, right? Song Yishur smiled. No, I'm telling the truth. Shui, or won't be jealous. Song Yishur smiled, but didn't say anything. I heard that Miss Song lived with the Qin family for more than a year when she was young. Song Yishur's expression changed. Young Master Hua, you sure know a lot. Oh, I heard about it by accident, but I'm confused. Miss Song was cute when she was young, right? If she lived with the Qin family for so long, why didn't she and Qin Shu flirt? As soon as she finished speaking, Song Yishur couldn't hold it in anymore. She smiled awkwardly. Maybe Qin Shu doesn't like me? Who said so? All the men in the world like beautiful women. But Qin Shu is an exception. In his eyes, Huamian is the perfect one, right? After Song Yishur finished speaking, she picked up her glass and took a sip of champagne. The look in her eyes was complicated. President Su, we can cut the cake now, the female assistant beside him reminded him. Suyu nodded and looked at the door, but there was still no one. Everyone was here, so Suyu turned around and walked into the center of the stage. The staff pushed out a 7-layered cake. It was red and beautifully decorated. Each layer had a different design. There were roses, sports cars, boats, and so on. Everyone crowded around him. There were 3 layers inside and 3 layers outside. It was a sea of people. When Suyu, of course, raised his hand, all the spotlights focused on him. Then, he symbolically cut the cake, and fireworks began to explode. The girls screamed and took out their cell phones to record videos. A few famous female celebrities from Imperial Star surrounded Suyu and sang happy birthday songs. Many men were envious of this scene. If I were Lord Su, I would sleep with one a day, 365 a year, and 3 years in a row. Then, I'd be able to get the Guinness Book of Best One-Night Dating Record, haha. Tang Chuan laughed. If he were as evil as you, he wouldn't be Suyu. Wei Liao sighed. Lord Su doesn't seem to be in a good mood, Jiang Xiaowei said as she looked at Suyu of the crowd. Isn't that because the person he wants to see isn't here yet? A few people were watching from the side. Most people were gathered in the middle of the stage. No one noticed the petite figure taking advantage of the chaos. She snuck into Suyu's mansion after drinking with everyone. Suyu of the crowd sat down on a bench by the pool. Just then his cell phone rang. He looked at the caller ID and was pleasantly surprised. He immediately picked it up. "Hello, I'm at the southeast corner of your house. There are a lot of reporters outside. Jump over the wall. I have something to tell you." After saying this, Huaming of the crowd hung up. She looked around Su Yu's mansion and found a secluded area in the southeast corner. There were a few Chinese parasol trees, and it was a blind spot to prevent paparazzi from taking photos. That was why she called Su Yu. Chapter 899. After answering Huaming's call, Su Yu felt his heart pounding wildly. She really did come. He didn't wait in vain. Su Yu quietly walked to the female assistant. "I'm going out for a bit. If someone looks for me, tell them I'm tired and I'm going back to my room to rest." "Okay, President Su." The female assistant nodded. Then, Su Yu put on a black jacket to cover up the red on his body. Then, while no one was looking, he walked to the southeast corner. There were no lights there, so it was completely dark. Luckily, the wall wasn't very high. Su Yu used to be in the military, so he was very agile. He easily climbed up the wall. As expected, when he leaned over the wall, he saw Huaming in the corner. She was also wearing red. Although it was just a small cotton jacket, it was still very cute. "Hey, stupid girl, you're late. I already finished cutting the cake," he whispered as he leaned over the wall. Huaming was startled. She looked up and waved her hand. "Hurry up and come down. Don't let anyone take a picture of us." "What are you afraid of? We're not having an affair." After speaking, Su Yu lightly jumped down from the wall that was about 2 meters high. His movements were clean and nimble. Huaming immediately sweated. "You're overthinking it. Take out the present." "What? Who asked for a present? Why are you here if you don't bring a present?" Su Yu looked at Huaming, amused. She brought the scarf and hat that Xie Wan knitted for her. She also brought a pair of white and furry gloves. There were also 2 rabbit ears on the hat. Then, she wore a pair of black pencil pants and a bright red cotton jacket. She looked very cute. Huaming heard that Su Yu's party was red-themed. She looked through her wardrobe. Most of the red clothes were summer dresses and dresses. She would definitely freeze to death if she wore it. Then, he didn't dare to drive his Audi R8 because he was afraid that the media would take pictures of the license plate number. She took a taxi and circled around Su Yu's villa several times before she found such a secret place. Huaming carefully removed the bullet shell from his palm and handed it over. "Here." "What are you doing?" Su Yu was a little surprised. He looked at her and refused to take it. "Actually, I didn't want it when you gave it to me last time because it was too expensive. So, I wanted to take the opportunity to return it to you on your birthday. There's no reason for me to take back what I've given away. Since I gave it to you, it's yours. If you think it's too valuable, you can never use it. But you can't humiliate me like this." Su Yu said coldly. Huaming explained, "I didn't mean to humiliate you. Don't overthink it." "Then take it back," Su Yu said with a cold face. Huaming saw that he couldn't continue to insist, so she had no choice but to put it back. Su Yu was right. At most, she wouldn't have to use this promise for the rest of her life. So, "You didn't bring any other gifts?" Su Yu crossed his arms and deliberately questioned her angrily. Huaming rubbed her forehead awkwardly. Then, she thought for a moment and said, "I got it. Wait a second, okay?" She lowered her head and took out her wallet. She pulled out a stack of cash. It was exactly 5,000 yuan. She took it out this morning to buy a computer for Shuai Shuai. Now, it seemed that giving money was a good idea when she didn't have any gifts to give. "Here, happy birthday. Buy whatever you like to eat." Su Yu was speechless. "Take it." "You're welcome." "Huaming, I want to fucking strangle you," Su Yu said with a dark face. Huaming was the first woman to give Su Yu money on his birthday. Everyone knew that Su Yu didn't lack money. In the past, women tried to please him. They gave him ties, socks, cufflinks, brooches, watches, and rings. Some even gave him condoms and condoms. But who would give him money? To Su Yu, money was the most worthless thing in the world. Do you think it's too little? I only have this much right now. Do you want me to withdraw some more for you later? Is there an ATM nearby? Huaming asked in all seriousness. Su Yu was so angry that he was about to spit fire. If the person in front of him wasn't Huaming, he really wanted to send him flying with a kick. So, You called me and asked me to jump over the wall to see you, and you wanted to give me this? Suyu asked with a dark face. Chapter 900. Awkwardly coughed twice. Ahem. As the saying goes, plans can't keep up with changes. Seriously, her plan was to return the bullet shell. She told Qin Chu the same thing, but he didn't want it. So, she really didn't prepare any gifts. It should be hard to choose a gift for Suyu, right? He basically received high-end sports cars, villas, and all kinds of expensive antiques. She heard that on his birthday last year, a coal mine owner tried to curry favor with the Su family. He actually gave him a huge golden snake. Was it because Suyu's zodiac sign was a snake? He was simply a nouveau riche. I'm sorry, if you don't want money, then I really don't have anything else. Huamin awkwardly explained. Suyu looked down at Huamin, who was wearing a hat and a thick cotton-padded jacket. The more he looked at her, the cuter she was. Then, on impulse, before Huamin could say anything, he suddenly picked her up with both hands. Then, he spun her around 3 times. Huamin was scared out of her wits. Just as she was about to faint, he put her down. Okay, I got my birthday present. Suyu said confidently. To him, being able to greedily hug Huamin was already very good, very good. He didn't have any desire. He just carried her and spun her around 3 times. Without any warning, Huamin was a little dumbfounded. Go back, it's pretty cold. Suyu knew that he couldn't keep her for too long. With Huamin's current status, it was dangerous. The longer he stayed, the more dangerous it would be. If someone saw him, he wouldn't be able to explain himself. After speaking, Suyu turned around and left. Suyu, Huamin suddenly shouted. Suyu stopped in his tracks, but he didn't turn around. Happy birthday, Huamin said slowly as he stared at Suyu's tall and handsome back. Suyu still didn't turn around. Instead, he raised his right hand and made an okay gesture. Then, he flipped over the wall in an extremely nimble manner. Huamin took out his phone and looked at the time. It was about 8:20 in the evening. She ran all the way out of the neighborhood, then stopped a taxi and left. Suyu was in a good mood after jumping back over the wall. No one seemed to have noticed Suyu's temporary absence. Only a few people asked about it, and the female assistant told them what he had told her. Go give me a carton of wine. Open it all. Your wine is that. The female assistant was slightly surprised. Yes, that one. After saying that, Suyu turned around and left. The female assistant was secretly surprised. Every bottle of Suyu's wine collection was worth more than 500,000 yuan. There were only 12 bottles in one box, which meant that there was more than 6 million yuan worth of wine. God, this is crazy. Did something good happen to President Su? The female assistant thought to herself. Because of Hua Min's arrival, Suyu was in a good mood. When he came back, he immediately opened a carton of expensive Lafite. Everyone was having even more fun. On the stage, Jian Tong was singing. She was a singer from a talent show and won first place that year. Later, because the recording industry wasn't ideal, she changed careers and became an actress. Now, she was doing very well. However, people rarely heard her sing. She sang a very affectionate rendition of Yang Zhongwei's The Onion. Her voice was very beautiful. The entire audience was very engrossed and listened very seriously. When she sang to the climax, Jian Tong looked at Suyu, who wasn't far away, affectionately. Is Jian Tong trying to express something to you? Tang Chuan asked with a smile. Suyu didn't say anything. He just quietly listened to the song. Why did he feel like the song was talking about him? Wei Liao interjected. I think she's singing about our Lord Su's situation. Suyu smiled helplessly. Just then, someone suddenly shouted, Oh no! Someone jumped off the building. After he said that, everyone panicked. Suyu immediately stood up. Everyone ran towards Suyu's mansion. Chapter 901. When Suyu arrived, he heard a lot of people whispering. A young woman was lying on the ground with blood under her head. She wasn't wearing a single piece of clothing. She was completely naked and white. What's going on? I don't know. I heard a bang, and she jumped down. Who is this person? Does anyone know her? So you looked around and asked. A female artist under Imperial Star slowly walked up and said in a low voice, President Sue, I really want to know her. Who is she? So you felt uneasy that a strange woman jumped off a building in his own home. She's Zhao Qingya's younger sister, Zhao Xia. I saw Zhao Qingya bring her to the company before. The female artist whispered. Zhao Qingya's younger sister? What's she doing here? So you had a feeling that something bad was going to happen. Someone in the crowd called the police, and the police quickly arrived. The leader was Gao Ran. Since he heard that there was a murder, as the captain, Gao Ran naturally had to lead the team. Young Master Su, I'm sorry, someone called the police and said that someone jumped off a building. Gao Ran was wearing a black police uniform as he spoke to Su Yu with a serious expression on his face. Yeah, right here. Su Yu pointed at the woman's body. Gao Ran walked over with his subordinates. Everyone, make way. We're going to seal off the scene. Please cooperate. Then, the crowd slowly dispersed. It was supposed to be a birthday party, but because of a strange woman jumping off a building, things became complicated. A few female artists whispered among themselves, Is Zhao Qingya's younger sister here to avenge her sister? She doesn't have to risk her life for revenge, does she? That's too scary. Plus, Zhao Qingya was never a good person. President Su did the right thing by terminating her contract. What's there to avenge? Why wasn't the woman wearing any clothes? Did something happen in the bedroom? Most of the guests left because of this incident. A few people who were close to Su Yu stayed behind to wait for the latest developments. Gao Ran led the officers from the Major Crimes Division to do a thorough search. They waited outside for about an hour. Then, Gao Ran came downstairs with his men. He walked up to Su Yu and said in a serious tone, Young Master Su, I'm sorry, but we found a large amount of Bing powder, some tools, and the victim's clothes in your bedroom upstairs. Because the victim jumped off the building in your bedroom, we suspect that this incident has something to do with you. Please come with us to assist with the investigation. What? Did you make a mistake? Captain Gao. Tang Chuan was furious. So you had something to do with this? How is that possible? He didn't believe that Su Yu would push a woman he didn't even know off the building. Captain Gao, I didn't even go into the bedroom. Huh? Even if something happened to her in there, you can't blame it on me, right? Gao Ran stared at Su Yu's face and said, We found from your home's CCTV that you disappeared from the footage between 8 o'clock p.m. and 8:20 p.m. Everyone was there, but you were the only one missing. When we checked the CCTV footage, we found that the footage was broken. A few people also said that they asked your assistant, who said that you weren't feeling well and went to the bedroom to rest. The timing matches, so we have reason to suspect that you have the time and motive to commit the crime. Unless you can tell us where you went during that time? So he was a loss for words. During that time, he jumped off the wall to see Huamin. Then he told his assistant that if anyone asked, he was going to the bedroom to rest. Why did Su Yu feel like he was set up? How could it be so coincidental? Were you during that time? Gao Ran questioned. Tell us, Lord Su. It's okay. We all believe you. Tang Chuan egged Su Yu on. They all believed that Su Yu wouldn't play with a woman in the bedroom, let alone play with things that couldn't be touched. You didn't really go into the bedroom, did you? Jiang Shaowei looked at Su Yu and asked with a frown. I didn't go back in the bedroom, Su Yu denied. Then where were you? And who were you with? You can provide witnesses, and we will collect evidence. Gao Ran looked at Su Yu and continued. Su Yu lowered his head, and his heart was in turmoil. If he didn't explain, it would be troublesome. He would be considered the murderer. If he explained, then Huamin's reputation. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.